Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Brain Waves. That's right, we back at it. You know, Nubreed and his demonic entities and his spirits and his witchcraft and his spells thought that they could shut the stream down. Thought that they could stop this mission from going forth, this message from going forth. Well, we back at it. And this time the audio is good. Now, let me make something clear to y'all that y'all have to understand. I left the previous live stream up as proof. I have changed absolutely nothing with my setup. Those of you that were here during the first attempt to get this message out, because he don't want this message out, I have not changed a thing. I didn't adjust any, I didn't turn any dials, any knobs. I didn't change any cables, nothing. I'm running the exact 100% professional studio sound grade equipment that you can record an album off of. You can do anything off of. The same setup. But you all saw how the audio was bad. Now we have proof. Shout out to Ringo TV Reactions. And while we're talking about him, make sure you subscribe to his channel. For those of you that are new, if you're watching me, make sure you subscribe to his channel. And while we're talking about subscribing, make sure you double tap the screen. Make sure you hit the like button by double tapping the screen or what have you. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Feel free to comment. We're going to get it in. You see, that's how the devil operates. And those of you that were here in the first time, the devil tries to discourage you, tries to interfere what's going on, and try to stop you from getting a biblical message out. Because what I need you all to understand, if you are African, especially if you are Liberian, you need to listen to this message. If you are what we know as today as African American, then you need to listen to this message. If you actually subscribe to the whole Trump administration and the Trump train and what's going on, you also need to pay attention to what's going on. Because I'm going to tie in Donald Trump to a content creator known as Nubreed Global Truth. Now, his name is Nubreed Global Lies because all he does is tell lies. And all he does is do criminal acts. He will do anything he can to silence your voice, anything he can to make you look crazy or something wrong, just like how he sent his demons to attack and try to hijack and interfere with my live stream. Those of you that were there, you have proof of that. And those of you that will care to go back after this live stream and watch the replay will hear. This message is going through. And this message is going to come to pass. And this message is going to put him in a hot seat. Because Ringo TV Reactions did an excellent breakdown. He did an excellent breakdown. As a matter of fact, let me show you which video that I'm talking about so that you can understand what it is that I'm referring to. Okay? For those of you that don't know, we're going to go ahead and put this on the screen. Let's go ahead and start getting something on the screen here. All right? If you take a look at this, what you see is this is Ringo TV Reactions YouTube channel. He is here in the chat. As you can see, he said the audio is good. He said, come through, give a like. Shout out to Rochelle. Shout out to Cynthia Marie. That's right. Look, Rochelle was here. She's a witness. She said the devil didn't win because she's back. And listen, this stream's still about to blow. Oh, this stream is going to blow. The people are coming back. The people will come back. So when you go to Ringo TV Reactions channel, Ringo did an excellent live stream right here. It's called Barclays Center Raid and ICE Agent Attack. Nubreed's Disinfo Debunked. He did this live stream right here, okay? This is the live stream that you want to check out because what he debunked in his live stream is how Nubreed weaponized Haitians. And that's the best way that I'm going to phrase it. He actually put a battery in Haitians' back, making them think that they can go challenge ICE, all the ICE agents, which is going against what President Trump said, which is going against America, to make a long story short, and put them in harm's way, put them in a situation where they can get attacked or deported or what have you, primarily deported. And then get more Haitians mad about that, because then it's like, did you see my Haitian friend? Or did you see this Haitian? This 1 or 2 Haitians got deported. Next thing you know, they're going to put out videos. And then all of a sudden, it's all these videos about Haitians getting deported. Then you're going to find Nubreed Global Lies coming out saying, see, I told you people. I told you that they got deported. When he don't care about Haitians. Not only does he not care about Haitians, he doesn't care about Africans. He doesn't care about Jamaicans. He doesn't care about Panamanians. He doesn't care about anybody. If you Caribbean, he does not care about you. As a matter of fact, if you identify as an African American, as what the check boxes say here in the United States when we fill out paperwork and forms and what have you, if you identify as black here in America, he don't rock with you either. Now, this guy claims that he's FBA. And I got to give all this, because when I lay this out, you're going to understand, and I'm going to bring Trump into this, and you're going to see what all this has to do. A lot of people are here wondering, what does Trump have to do with Nubreed? Oh, you're going to find out. You're going to find out. Oh, trust and believe y'all going to find out. Nubreed is labeled himself as FBA. Now, for those of you that don't know who FBA or what FBA stands for, it stands for Foundational Black American. These are people that are descendants from the transatlantic trade slave, okay? The whole 400 years that the Bible and Deuteronomy in the Old Testament talks about, right? So if you are a descendant of an actual slave member, if your bloodline comes from people that actually were forced to be transported here into America, right? If you come from that bloodline and serve in slavery and etc., then you're considered foundational Black American. Now, Nubreed Global Lies have countless videos where he calls Ringo TV reactions, for example, a tether. Let me use, since Ringo's channel is on the screen, let me go ahead and talk about it, okay? He wants to call Ringo a tether. Why? Because his mom is Panamanian. His mother is no longer with us. Rest in peace, Mama Ringo. All right, you got to pay respects to the deceased. Rest in peace. His mom is no longer with us, right? But nonetheless, his mom is Panamanian, but Ringo, his dad is black, what we would call American or FBA, right? Yet Nubreed wants to call Ringo a tether, which, what is a tether? It's somebody that's generally from another location, a geographical location. You weren't a part of the transatlantic trade slave. So again, you're Caribbean, you're Haitian, you're Panamanian, you're Jamaican, you're African. Y'all get me, right? That's your bloodline. And you're trying to act like you're FBA or act like you're down and what have you. There's different variations on what they call a tether, but Nubreed Global Lies calls essentially anybody of that background a tether. And now here's the irony. He just did a video the other day, which let me go ahead and pull that up so you can see what I'm talking about, where he was up there talking about, yeah, man, he trying to go in and start spreading misinformation from other fake TikTok videos, talking about the Haitians sent the ICE agents back. You know, the ICE agents couldn't handle them and they shut down the police and all of that stuff. Listen, man, it's a bunch of lies, man. It's a bunch of lies. Let me see if I can get the actual video here to pull up on his page. And I'm going back to what I said in the beginning as well, because y'all need to understand something that I'm about to get at. And I got to lay all of this down before we get into the video content with Trump and everything. Okay, it's this particular video right here. This is the content creator we're talking about that's in connection with Trump. And not directly in connection with Trump, but I'm going to break it down on why I'm bringing up President Trump and his content creator. Okay, Nubreed Global Lies. He says he speaks global truth on his channel, but all he tells is global lies, because he'll lie for anything just to get a click, a view, and get money. He put out a video 5 days ago that says breaking: Trump tries to deport 500,000 Haitians, ICE gets chased out. That is a lie. There is no news report. There is no media. There's no confirmation. There's no evidence of that actually taking place. But again, he specializes in psychological power. He does power plays with your mind. He does this to lie and deceive you. Now, let me say this before I get into the content as it relates to Trump, and then we'll get into some more content with Nubreed. What you're going to find Nubreed Global Truth do in response as a reaction to this live stream is one of two things. He's either going to ignore it. He's going to play stupid like he don't see it, even though I know he's watching right now. I know he's watching. I know his subscribers are watching. I know the other content creators that subscribe and rock with him are watching because they're going to talk about me. And so here's the other part. Number two, what you're going to find is you're going to find content creators that associate with him try to go into smear campaigns. And I warned y'all about this. I told y'all that the moment I speak about this content creator, that's what he's going to do. Not only is he going to do smear campaigns about me, there's already been smear campaigns that in response to Ringo TV reactions, again, subscribe to him, you're subscribed to me. He's here in the live chat right now. There's been smear campaigns against him calling Nubreed out. And see, anybody that calls out, you know, when you're the whistleblower, you're the one who calls out, you're the one that's labeled as the wrong person. You're the one that's demonized when you're the one that's calling out the problems. Isn't that kind of ironic? Isn't that hypocritical? And so what you're going to find in response is these content creators are going to do a smear campaign. It might even be Nubreed himself. He may try to go on what he has is Nubreed Universal Entertainment. That channel's full of lies as well. And what he's going to do is he'll say, oh, this is only entertainment. I don't take this seriously. These are the things that he's done. He's been called out before. Listen, y'all, this is a content creator that literally is a convicted felon. Let me make this clear. Nubreed is a convicted felon. He has a long, lengthy rap sheet. I tell people, background check me. I don't care. I ain't got nothing to hide. My background's legit. But when it comes to this individual, his is not. He can't even vote, but yet he makes every video Trump this, breaking this, Trump. He puts Trump in all his titles, and some of his, you could call them supporting content creators do the same thing. They put Trump in their videos, and they don't even be talking about Trump, right? But what he's going to do, and what he does is he puts Trump in there just so he can get likes, clicks, views. He can get money off of y'all. Y'all could think that he's some intelligent, you know, educated, political, whatever y'all want to think, individual. But instead, he can't even vote. So why is he involved in the arena of politics and talking about Trump when the man has been a convicted felon for years and years and years? He can't even vote. But I bet you viewers that are new don't know that. And y'all don't just believe anything that he says because he has what? A platform with 200 and now currently 4,000 subscribers. So what they're going to do is a smear campaign. And I got to get this out. He's going to try to call me gay when I've been happily married, coming up on 18 years. That's my second marriage, right? I've been married before to a sister. And mind you, while we talking about marriage, all of my women are black. Okay. Right? I got none but a legacy of being with black women. Okay, no disrespect to any other ethnicity, but I'm making a point. I'm more FBA than this content creator because Nubreed runs around saying I'm FBA, but he has a white woman. He got a white woman. His lady is not even black. What's up, Maggie B? Maggie B says, never heard of him. You're going to hear, thank you, Maggie B, for coming here. You're going to now hear of him, sweetie. And I thank you so much for being here. For those of you that have not heard of him, you're going to know of him. And I have to speak on this because I've spoke on this individual before and exposed this individual and said I wouldn't speak on him again. And he was making videos, folks was bringing up my name, but this time I have to speak on him. Why? Because he's doing a play that I'm about to get in, and you're going to see as it connects to Trump, and as you see it connects to a whole lot of things, right? I'm telling you, as it's connected to a whole lot of stuff, You're about to see how bad this goes, right? This is crazy. What? I don't understand this. I'm not gonna waste a lot of time on these comments. What's up, Charlene? Charlene says, "Love this guy. Keep my name Trump out of your mouth." I'm not sure exactly what your comment means, Charlene. I'm not sure if you're saying me keep Trump's name out of my mouth or what it is. I'm not sure exactly where you're going with that. I'm just gonna kind of let that be because I'm not sure exactly what you're referring. If you're referring to somebody else or me, but let me just make something clear. Nubreed Global Truth claims that he's a foundational Black American. That's what FBA means, right? But yet his woman she calls herself a Latino Israelite. There is no such thing as that. Okay, if there's a such thing as a Latino Israelite, then we got white Israelites. Everybody's an Israelite, right? What's the whole point? Okay, see, that's why I didn't want to speak. I figured you was agreeing. Exactly. That's what's up, Charlene. And y'all welcome Charlene to the chat. She's new here, and I appreciate her joining me. So I want y'all to welcome her here to the show. For my long-term subscribers, y'all know what it is. Give Charlene a warm welcome, because that's what I do. I welcome new people here to my show. Welcome anybody else too, okay? Thank you, Charlene, for rocking with me. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you. And please continue to share your comments. So, as I was saying, because I have to get this information out before I get into the Trump videos, the Ringo videos, and everything, right? What Nubreed claims is that he's FBA. What's up, Maggie? He claims that he's all Black and he's all for Black folks, but yet his woman is a Spaniard. Now, I have no problem with white folks. I got a lot of white people I'm cool with, I rock with, I'm friends with, and this is not what this is about. I'm trying to make a point on Nubreed. He claims I'm FBA and I'm full out Black. What's up, Elaine? I'm all this and I'm all that, but yet his woman is white. So how you gonna claim you FBA but your woman is white? As it relates to me, my woman's Black and been Black, and my other woman's Black. Like, so when I say I'm down for the quote-unquote Black cause or Black initiatives, I got the proof to back it up. This guy is sold out. And the so-called baby mamas that he has, the so-called baby mamas, because he got a lot of children, not by the so-called white woman. The baby mamas that he has that are Black, he does not talk about them. He does not put them out. They're like just completely MIA. He hides that side as if he's ashamed of that identity. And then here he is making videos lying about Haitians, acting like he cares about Haitians. When he calls, if you're Haitian, if you're Caribbean, if you're Jamaican, if you're from the islands, if you're Panamanian, if you're from anywhere, if you're African, and you have any of that in your DNA, guess what? He says you're a tether. He considers you a tether because you're not a foundational Black American, meaning you weren't actually birthed from the lineage of the transatlantic trade slave that the Bible talks about in Deuteronomy. You didn't come from that background. You're not a real Black person. And so anything with your agendas, if you're proud of your country, if you're proud of your island, if you're proud from where you're from, which you should be, that's where you're from, right? That's your culture. That's your heritage, right? You should be proud of that. He'll call you a tether. He'll say you're a tether. This is things that he's called other content creators. And again, the smear campaign videos will be from him and his followers that want to be, some of them like are small. They're going to try to say that I'm gay. Never been, never will. And there's no proof. No offense if you gay. Hey, and live your life. Enjoy your life. But I'm not about that life. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about the women. That's it. My wife knows that. Everybody knows that. You can ask anybody gay. Is Brainwaves gay? And they'll tell you he ain't gay. All right? So the dude is going to lie about that. Other folks going to lie about that. They're going to try to say that I'm in witchcraft. Oh, I got a video with Brainwaves and witchcraft. Listen, y'all. There's an old video back in the day. I used to do tarot readings. I used to do astrology, birth charts, natal charts. I was in that new age community and I helped people. See, I have no problem talking about that. Right? I used to help people. I used to do readings with people. I would help people find love, help them understand dynamics with relationships or whatever was going on. I would help people get free of a lot of spells and crap that was put on them, to make a long story short. Well, nonetheless, I have a video that I have renounced all of that. I have stepped away from all of that. I don't do that. So if anybody asks me, do I do that? No, I do not. I don't do any of that stuff anymore. If you look at my channel here, I have a video here that I've had this old is, I don't know what. It's called Tarot Readers and Astrologers, a call for them to repent. And as you can see here on the screen, it says, you turn to God. Repent and turn to God. So when I talk about the Bible, when I talk about biblical truth, I'm about that life. And I put it out there. But you're going to have this content creator try to do a smear campaign and be like, oh, well, look, I got this old video where he was reading tarot and he was doing this. Yeah, I did that. I don't do it now, but he's going to try to insinuate that I'm doing it now with no proof. Okay? It's going to insinuate a lot of stuff. I want you to be aware of the lies. Now, as it relates to the lies, let's get into Trump. Okay? Many of you kind of know, if you know who this guy is, you'll see that this guy is a fraud. I've exposed this guy. I've had witnesses of individuals giving testimonials, their experiences, some even other content creators, on how this guy has done them wrong, how he's lied. Nubreed is dangerous, okay? He's a dangerous individual. He's a dangerous criminal. And I'm going to tie some things together that's going to shock y'all. And that's why I put Trump in here and the power play. Y'all stay tuned. I'm getting all this out for a reason, because I'm not going to go back to this stuff. You're going to have people say, one of his followers, one of the content creators is going to try to say that I'm against black women when I'm married to black women. I just did a live stream showing another black woman in my video besides my wife. Right? But this guy's gonna, this lady, this so-called woman content creator is gonna try to say that I'm against black women when all I do is support black women. Right? Yeah, Maggie B is right. Look what Maggie B says. She says there are a lot of tarot card readers on lives. Some do it on Christian YouTube channels. Hey, I'm just saying, listen, if you're a tarot reader, look, here, rock out right now. Listen, this is not what this stream is about. But I'm just trying to make it a point that when I say that I'm following the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I'm not playing with this, right? This, you got content creators that's going to say that I'm bad with women, bad with children when I work in public safety, in the school system, and have a flawless track record, and have also helped to create jobs for so many people. I've been on the news. I'm in publications, right? Because of the work that I do in the community. But this guy is not out there like that. He don't care about your children. He don't care about kids. He try to front like he does. He uses his platform. He uses his power to make you believe. Now, what I want to show you is a video, okay? We're going to switch gears and we're going to go to a video. The video that I tried to show before, he sent some demonic interference. And so now we're going to get into the videos of Trump, okay? Many of you here wondering, how am I tying in Trump to all of this? Give me 1 second here. Let me pull this video, because this stuff is just crazy, y'all. It's absolutely crazy. Now, the information I'm showing you should not be new. But anyway, let's get to it.
There was an awkward moment at the White House on Wednesday. Donald Trump praised the president of Liberia for his, quote, good English, even though English is the official language of Liberia. This happened during a meeting between the U.S. president and the leaders of 5 African countries. CNN's Larry Madowo has more.
What President Trump led with at this meeting with 5 African nations showed the true intentions of this White House gathering. The leaders of Mauritania, Senegal, Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, and Liberia have all one thing in common. They're small economies, but with rich mineral deposits, rare earth minerals, gold, oil, manganese, iron ore, and they're offering these to the United States, to American companies. They're looking for win-win solutions, as President Brice Oligui Nguema of Gabon said. President Bassirou Diomaye Faye went even further, though. He actually offered a golfing investment opportunity for President Trump and said it would be a few hours flight from Miami or from DC. You can show off your golfing skills, because world leaders have learned that to really do business with President Trump, you have to appeal to him, you have to fawn, and they all did that beautifully.
represented today, and your continent is represented by Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal.
And I want to talk about something real quick. Let me interject. I don't know if you heard the part where that one African president said that in order to do business with President Trump, you have to appeal to him. You have to do certain things. You have to speak a certain way. Well, what I want you to understand is in order to do business with Nubreed Global Lies, because that's what we're going to call him. In order to do business with Nubreed Global Lies, you also have to speak a certain way. You also have to do certain things in order to appeal to him. Okay. And speaking of doing business, I'm an individual who at one point in time attempted to do business with this individual. And then I realized that I could no longer support that individual. Okay. And I put this out. Right. So what I want you to see is some similarities here. Okay. And this is not so I'll get into some things later. Let me just go ahead and play it.
All very vibrant places with very valuable land, great minerals, great oil deposits, and wonderful people.
Mr. President, we thank you for this opportunity to be here. Liberia is a longtime friend of the United States, and we believe in your policy of making America great again.
An awkward moment there after President Joseph Boakai of Liberia spoke, and President Trump appeared to be surprised that he spoke such excellent English. He asked him, where did you learn to speak English so beautifully? And President Boakai smiled and nodded and said it was in Liberia. He didn't point out that English is the official language of Liberia. Another curious moment, President Trump handpicked one of his favorite reporters, an African reporter, and she asked these leaders if they would nominate President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, which she knows has become a recent obsession of President Trump. They said they would, or they would look into it, that they would not be opposed to it. Again, they're trying to be nice to him as their host. They're not trying to antagonize him. One thing that didn't explicitly come up, but is the subtext here, is China. That was the elephant in the room. These countries are not explicit allies of BRICS, and so they're easier entry points for the U.S. into this new commercial diplomacy that President Trump is favoring in relations with Africa. Larry Medowo, CNN, Lagos, Nigeria.
Now, I want to speak on something there because that's a point. Notice how the representative there from Nigeria, from Lagos, said that the particular countries, the African countries that was represented there at that particular meeting did not have any quote unquote ties to China. So it was easier for them to do business with. One of the things I want to say as it relates to what you're going to find with Nubreed, there are certain people that Nubreed and certain organizations and companies that he will do business with. And should I say he can't really do business with companies and organizations unless they are something that I'm about to get to later on in the video because of his track record. You see, he presents himself as having this shining track record and everything is good. And he's just caring about his audience and caring about what's going on. He doesn't care. He just cares about the money, the views, right? All he cares about is getting paid. I'm bringing up these talking points because when I get to certain video things that I'm going to show you on the screen, come back to these talking points and I'll bring these up and you'll understand why I mentioned that to leave a bookmark in your brain. Let's go.
In the span of about 10 seconds, the president managed to offend the entire continent of Africa. Trump was hosting 5 African leaders at the White House on Wednesday when he got sidetracked while chatting with the president of Liberia.
We just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. And such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully?
Okay, that was awkward because, of course, the Liberian leader politely informed the president that he was educated in Liberia where the official language is English. One Liberian diplomat told CNN's that Trump's question was inappropriate and condescending, and a South African politician questioned on X why the Liberian leader didn't stand up and leave. Turning it back to the group chat, First, just a little bit of reaction. Adam Kinzinger, former GOP congressman, always Trump antagonist, said this: X, absolutely the dumbest man in government. This is just ridiculous. And then Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, Democrat, saying Trump never misses an opportunity to be racist and wrong. Every day he finds a new way to be embarrassing. I don't know where to start. How do we start on this?
He doesn't do propriety well.
He was offering a compliment.
Yeah,
in his
he was
mind.
trying to offer a compliment, but was completely inappropriate in doing so, and frankly offensive, because this man's native language is apparently English.
Now, I do want to raise a question. Do any of y'all think that President Trump is going to offer some type of public apology or take any type of public accountability for criticizing the African president of Liberia, knowing how to speak English so well and that English was the native language? Do you think that anybody was saying this? And let me comment on this. Lively Cuts says, why is CNN always bashing Trump? They clearly a damn media platform. One thing I want y'all to understand, if you're new to my channel, make sure you double tap the screen. What I do is I show comments and videos from all sides. I'm not just going to show a straight quote unquote Republican news media outlet, for example, Fox News, and not show anything else. I'm not just going to show a quote unquote Democratic platform where, like CNN, for example, and not show anything else. I'm going to show everything in between. Regardless of the platform, President Trump dropped the ball on this particular comment. Okay? And this is a point I want y'all to understand. This was an insult, and it was it was not good, y'all. This was not good, whether you're for Trump or against Trump, to say those type of comments when the native language is English. That's just like saying to somebody here in the United States, oh, wow, you speak great English, when we speak English here in the United States. That's our primary language, right? So what I'm trying to say is Trump messed up in that particular area, right? Whether you're for Trump or against Trump, because you got some outlets that's gonna, Mac, shout out to Mac 11 Ocelot says, why is Fox News always glazing Trump? You got some platforms that always say Trump is the best, and then you have other platforms that say Trump sucks. What I do is I come down the middle. I'm not being biased. If Trump does something good, then hey, he did something good. If he did something bad, hey, he did something bad. And the reason why I'm like this is because this is how we have to respond as it relates to Nubreed. Now, back to the point that I was making. Do we think that President Trump is going to publicly take accountability on being disrespectful to an extent, however you want to interpret it, to the Liberian president on speaking great English? He's not. He's not going to apologize. He's not going to take accountability. He's not going to apologize. Now, this is something that you're going to see that happens with Nubreed, the content creator known as Nubreed. He doesn't take accountability or apologize, even when there's been countless information and evidence on how he's been wrong. What I want you to understand is that Nubreed is following a playbook, the same playbook that President Trump follows. Okay, it's not racially the same because obviously Nubreed is black and Trump is white, but it's a similar strategy. Okay, there's an idea that Nubreed likes to operate on. And you might have seen some of this come out of perhaps the Trump administration, whether you're for it or against it. For example, we see this particular rhetoric coming from different camps. And regardless whether you support one camp or you're against another camp, or one political party and you're against another political party, you're seeing the same strategy. I got to lay out all of these strategies, right? Okay. There's a strategy of division, right? If you're a Democrat, I hate you. If you're a Democratic channel, I hate you. If you're a Republican, if you're a Republican, you hate the Democrats. If you're a Republican, you hate Democratic platforms and shows. You see the division. You see what's going on here. That's one thing that Nubreed does. It also even starts going into race. Remember, they were trying to have a race war. They were trying to kickstart a race war. between white folks and black folks. They was trying to get all of us to be fighting, right? A division, get us mad at each other, get us all in our feelings, etc., etc. Okay? What I want to say is there's an idea of division, hierarchy. You have exceptionalism. Some people believe they're more exceptional than others. These are tools of power, right? No matter who uses them. And these are some of the plays that Nubreed does. He believes that, well, you're not FBA, or you're not a Hebrew Israelite, or you're not this, you're not that. He does a lot of division. He follows this same type of playbook, right? Okay? It's the same type of playbook. And again, I don't have the time to really get down into the deep context because I got to show you what's going on. This is only part one. So this is a conversation that perhaps I'll do a live stream where we could just dive deep into this particular area, but I got to continue to move on. Now, let's go ahead and one thing I want to say is let's play the rest of the video and then I'll get back to this.
And apparently our president doesn't understand the historical ties to Liberia, given a lot of free slaves were returned there, and the capital is Monrovia for James Monroe. I mean,
yeah,
it just kind of displayed a lot of ignorance about.
Megan?
I mean, even if you make it more simple than that, this just amplifies the term ugly American. Anyone who's traveled abroad, we all feel that when you go somewhere, we're loud, we're travel in packs, and everyone looks at us like, oh my gosh, those are the Americans. This is just why people think that we are so terrible all the time. Like, how can our leader and our president be so dumb to just say this in front of press in an open meeting? I mean, how is this even a compliment? Even if it, even how is he? It's hard to fathom. You just can't make it up.
What came to mind for me?
Well, I want to say what's the biggest thing, and this is a point that I want people to understand. What President Trump just did in terms of saying that it's a compliment, or it being phrased as a compliment to the Liberian president that you speak good English when English is Liberia's native language, to say that that's a compliment, that's not the right way to go about it. But what you see is that this is the same type of strategy that you see Nubreed Global Truth do. He'll say something about a group of people. He'll say something about someone in particular, and then try to say, well, this is the right thing to say. This is the right thing to do. Instead of actually owning it like, oops, I messed up. Oops, my bad. Right? Okay. But anyway, man, let's go. Let me finish playing this because I got to transition into some more things. Let's go.
Is that there's large swaths of the country and large parts of the Trump constituency that don't want certain aspects of Black history in the public domain, right? Scrubbed from websites. They talk about slavery era history that they want to erase. Liberia was founded by free slaves. That's history you would miss if you thought it was woke.
Yeah, I mean.
Now, did y'all hear that about the history? Now, there's a lot of history that some people just don't want to represent. They don't want to see. I understand it. But we can't erase it because just like the woman just said, Liberia literally was founded on being free from slavery. Like, everybody in society in Liberia, they are free. They were either born there free or they were free slaves that came from America. We're going to get to all of this. So to erase that history is not the right thing to do, right? It's not the right thing to do to erase someone's history. But you will find Nubreed Global Truth, he follows that same playbook. What he does is he erased the actual true history about a content creator that he might talk about a group of people that he might talk about situations that he talk about. He erases the history of what actually took place. He erases real accountances, witnesses, evidence, and proof. And then he goes on smear campaigns to get other people underneath him that do his bidding for whatever reason. They demons too that want to follow that type of narrative, just so that they can have some type of power advantage. This is the same playbook, okay? Again, we're talking about the psychology of power. This is what we're breaking down, okay? So anyway, let me finish playing this because we're almost done with this video. And I got to transition to another video, move to the next part of this live stream.
And I think that this comes down to how is he getting prepped? What is the priority for when he's prepping for these meetings and understanding the history and the culture? Clearly, that's just not a priority. He's walking in pretty blind. And so that speaks to how much of a priority they take in understanding the history and the culture. If he was adequately prepped for this meeting, that mistake would not have been made.
Yeah, though I was.
And I agree with that. If President Trump was prepped for this meeting or any meeting, listen, y'all, as a president, as a leader, they're going to inform you, hey, you're meeting with an individual here from this nation or these nations, and this is their background. They're going to give you a brief on how they are, what's going on. So this basic information, you should know that, so you know how to chop it up with them and have a dialogue. If anything, this is a fail on the Trump administration, not so much Trump himself, although Trump did utter the words out of his mouth, so he got to take ownership for it. But anyway, it's not so much about that. I know some people are going to be mad because like, oh, you bashing Trump. Listen, I'm not bashing Trump. I'm just saying that Trump, this is a fail in that particular area, right? Trump might have been doing everything else right. This is one particular fail, and we got to learn from our mistakes in order to do better, right? So that we don't repeat that, so that we don't continue that. Now, what I want to do is I kind of want to transition. Okay, I want to transition into something, okay, because what you're about to see is a lot that people have. How can I want to say this? There's a lot that causes divisions when certain people say things and do things. It can cause divisions amongst people, and this is something that Nubreed is known of doing. He likes to cause division amongst of people. He causes divisions amongst of things. And shout out to my mods on the job. Thank you for shutting down the distractions. Listen, y'all, feel free to rock out. Feel free to disagree with me. I don't care if you disagree with me. That's fine. You're entitled to disagreeing with me. But what you're not going to do is come to my platform and be disrespectful. If you come in here cursing me out, if you come in here saying something stupid, number one, YouTube itself, the platform itself, may block your comment. Number two, my moderators may block your comment. And number three, I may block your comment if I happen to see it. So please watch what you say. You can agree to disagree. I'm fine with that. I'm fine if you disagree. But what we're not going to do is be disrespectful when I'm being respectful to you all. Okay? So back to what I'm saying. What's going on, it's also another element that if you don't take ownership, you don't take accountability on something small like this, it can actually cause a situation of division, right? They're trying to negotiate deals between Trump and these particular African nations that came in that meeting, right? That could cause an issue with Liberia or the other African nations for that matter. So what I'm saying is that we have to actually take accountability for that. And when we take accountability for that, it allows the divisions to not be there. But if you don't take accountability, then those divisions are allowed to be there. And this is something on how Nubreed likes to operate. Okay, I'm giving you, this is part one. So I'm giving you the strategies of how he likes to operate. Now, based upon what was said, let's go ahead and switch gears because I know a lot of people think, oh, I'm showing CNN, so it's this and this and that. Listen, y'all, I show both sides of the coin. One of the things I want to show y'all is a reaction to what some like a reaction to what President Trump said and how they as Liberians take it. Because it's one thing for us to do it, but let's see what's going on there. Listen.
How can Donald Trump, the so-called leader of the...
Let me do this real quick. Listen, Blue Ocean, you on a timeout. If you keep talking like that, you think it's freedom of speech. I got freedom of blocking people. Okay, you might think it's this freedom of speech. Listen, I have not been disrespectful to you. Don't come here being disrespectful. If you do, you've been timed out. If you do it again when the timeout expires, you're gonna get blocked. And moderators, feel free to block Blue Ocean 77 if this individual curses me out, curses you all out, or anybody else in the chat. Okay. Come on now. Listen. Now, let me say this real quick. Rick Land says he wasn't being rude. He was just being ignorant. I didn't know their native tongue was English. Did you? Yes, I did know that Liberia's native tongue is English. I know Liberians personally. I know a lot of high-ranking officials in Liberia. And I want to make a comment on what Rick Lund said. It's one thing as you as a citizen of the United States to not know that Liberians' native language is English, but for you to be a president of the United States who gets debriefed on every meeting, they brief you on every interaction, you're supposed to know this information. Y'all got to stop and think. We're talking about the president of the United States. This is not just somebody, oh, I'm just going in there. This just shows that it was a fail, if anything, on the Trump administration. Maybe it was Trump. I don't know. I'm not a part of his administration. I don't know what was said or wasn't said. Maybe his administration did want to brief Trump. And Trump said, nah, I don't need no debriefing. I don't need no info. Y'all ain't got to tell me nothing about these African presidents. I'm just going to go ahead and do what I do. Maybe that was the case. I don't know. I can't say for sure. I mean, unless you got proof or anybody else has proof, we can't say either way. Maybe he was debriefed. Maybe he just simply forgot. I mean, I don't know. What I'm doing is we're bringing up the fact is when you make a mistake, you got to own it. Whether you knew about it, you didn't know about it, you got to own it. Some people say, oh, I didn't know the law says that I need to slow down or move over if an emergency vehicle, if the police is on the side of the road. I didn't know I had to slow down. Just because you didn't know don't mean that you can't get in trouble. So just because Trump didn't quote unquote know, let's go with that narrative that Rick Land is bringing. Trump may not have known. President Trump may not have known. That still does not make it right. And like I said, as the president, I'm not buying that because presidents get debriefed like no tomorrow on who they're talking to, who they're dealing with. Everything's been checked out, what they like, what they don't like, where they want to go. They tell you what type of conversations to stick to, etc., etc. Yeah, DD Free is right. The leader of the free world should know this. We're not talking about some country that doesn't have access to this type of setup and scenario. So what I'm trying to say is that is something disrespectful. Listen, y'all, we can't give passes. This is not a knock on Trump in terms of what he's doing as a president and laws and all this. We're talking about this particular situation. When you do wrong, you do wrong. You got to own it. You got to take accountability. If I do wrong, I got to own it. If you do wrong, you got to own it. But the problem in today's time, people don't want to own nothing. They just want to point fingers and blame everybody else, but then they want a pass. And this is the same type of narrative that Nubreed of Nubreed Global Truth operates on. He's done a lot of wrong. There's proof and evidence of him doing wrong. Videos, witnesses, paperwork, all types of documentation. And guess what? He doesn't want to own up to it. You see the same play in the playbook? Now, what we're listening to is what Liberians' reaction to Trump calling the president or saying that the president of Liberia speaks good English. We're looking at a reaction from a Liberian. Let's go.
How can Donald Trump, the so-called leader of the free world, be shocked to find out that the Liberian president could speak English fluently? And some people are calling it a compliment. No, sir. That's insult wrapped in surprise. Let's watch this video and see.
Well, thank you. It's such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
I want to respond to something that Maggie B says. She says, we don't know if he corrected himself to the African president. From what I have a follow-up to that. He did not correct himself to the African president. So what I'm trying to say is that this is something I'm trying to show y'all a play here. Listen, y'all, I think people are getting caught up in the semantics of how they feel about Trump. What I'm trying to get y'all to understand is when somebody does wrong, they got to take accountability. Oops, my bad. I'm sorry about it. Right? It's literally a disrespectful comment, but he meant it as a compliment. I want to know how many people out there have said disrespectful comments to you. And I'm not saying Maggie B individually, although she may have had these experiences as well. When I say you, I'm talking about everybody watching and listening. How many people have said what they believe is a compliment to you, but it was extremely disrespectful? How many guys, listen, you got like back from the whole, for example, for the whole Me Too movement, how many guys have said what they meant as a compliment to women? Think about this. How many guys have said what they believe is a compliment to a woman? Hey, I was just complimenting you, right? But then the woman took it as disrespectful. Those guys a lot of times got fired. We got some of these court cases that's been going on, all types of situations, right? I'm just trying to give y'all many examples. Same thing. Some women might have hit on some dudes, but you know, remember the whole Me Too movement? So this is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand, right? But anyway, let's continue to listen because I need to switch gears and go deeper with this, right? So guess what? You just got yourself on a block list. Raphael Foster, you just got yourself on a block list. And you said nobody cares about this. But you here watching my live stream, but nobody cares. Congratulations, you're on the block list. Let's go.
Sure. I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well.
Now that's the video of the so-called leader of the free world, shocked and surprised that an African president could speak English fluently. I mean, let's not forget, English is Liberia's official language. They were literally founded by freed American slaves.
Now, shout out to Marissa Eldridge. She gets what I'm talking about. Y'all got to understand, this video is not only about Trump, it's about the content creator known as Nubreed Global Truth. Okay? She says the parallels with Nubreed and Trump is the use of flattery, like how Nubreed big up Ringo. Yeah, exactly. This content creator not only big up Ringo, he also said a lot of big things about me. All the videos are out there, him saying this out of his mouth, him doing it. He can't say, oh, I didn't compliment them. We got videos up on my page, Ringo's page, other content creators' page. He does the same thing. What he does is he'll go in, he'll try to use flattery, try to do all these things. Why? So that he can get what he needs out of you, or so that he can get whatever relationship out of you. But if you don't do his bidding, then he's going to have a problem with you. Okay? And so this is something that I'm trying to show you a parallel on how Nubreed operates. Okay? Come on now, let's go. Watch this.
Their capital is literally called Monrovia, named after a US president. So how does Trump, a man who once called African nations shithole countries, not know these basic facts? Because to people like him, we are still seen as foreign, even when we speak their language better than some of them. And this is how bias hides in plain sight, to be honest. It's not just about race, it's about perception. You speak English, wow, impressive. You articulate, shocking. Huh? But when they speak French, German, Hebrew, no one is surprised. Why? Because the world still doesn't expect excellence from Africans. I mean, that's why even our brilliance sounds like a miracle to them. But to us, it's normal. It's who we are. So no, that wasn't a compliment. That was a reminder that we still have lots of dignity to reclaim. And the next time someone sounds amazed that we are smart, fluent, or capable, don't say thank you. Say you should have known. I mean, and the man was just there saying, thank you, sir. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, there wasn't anything you could have said. That's the world president. But it was kind of cringe watching that video, to be honest. Anyways, peace out, guys.
All right, y'all. Let me play one more video. Because I'm about to go somewhere and it's about to take a turn. Okay? It's about to take a turn. This live stream is about to take a real turn. Okay, let's go.
I know most of y'all was aware of this situation that erupted at the White House sometime last week when President Trump was having a meeting with some African leaders. I want you to take a look at the reaction of the president of Liberia that he picked on in that meeting.
Yesterday's exchange with Trump shocked and angered me. I never thought I would be insulted like this.
Now listen, what we're hearing from right now, we're hearing from the president of Liberia speaking. Let me back this up. This is the response. Shout out to Maggie B. She said that we don't know if the president, like if President Trump issued the president of Liberia an apology or anything or what have you. This is his response right here. So we're going to listen to the president of Liberia's response into what Trump actually said about him speaking good English. Let's go.
Yesterday's exchange with Trump shocked and angered me. I never thought I would be insulted like this in an international setting. I understand his arrogance. He impatiently asked for speed up many times in the meeting, but he pretended to be surprised, even though he knew that English is our official language. Discrimination and prejudice against our country is too great. Seems to have tacitly agreed that African countries should not have language skills and that we should not have development. But he was disappointed. We have our own long history and culture. We receive education on our own land and master the official language of English. This is normal, but Trump, as a leader of a country, deliberately repeated praise to me with a racially prejudiced attitude. The sarcastic tone and ignorant sense of superiority made me feel extremely disgusted.
Now, I wanted y'all to hear that the president of Liberia said it was prejudice, that President Trump's comment is prejudice. Listen, if you're the individual saying the comment, you can't determine whether the comment is offensive or not. It is the recipient that determines whether the comment is offensive or not. Right? Because you saying the comment, you ain't got it doesn't apply to you. It applies to the individual, the group, or what have you, the noun that you're speaking to. So it is up to the recipient to determine whether they find it offensive or prejudice. And in this case, we heard from the president of Liberia. He said that it was prejudice. It was offensive. And these are things that Nubreed of Nubreed Global Truth does. He says things about different groups of people. He calls you a tether if you're Caribbean, if you're Haitian, if you're African, if you're Panamanian, if you're from any group or what have you, and you're quote unquote not FBA, you're not a foundational Black American, then he says you're a tether. That's offensive to anybody that has those backgrounds. And then he try to act like he cool with them. Then Nubreed be acting like he put out that video like he's all for the Haitians. No, all he's doing is trying to spread lies and rile up through misinformation to get Haitians to go out and do something, and then he can make more content about it. And get you deported if you're Haitian or what have you, get you set up, get you unalive, get you in all types of situations. Because there has been no 500,000 Haitians deported and ICE agents getting pushed back and the police getting pushed back by a group of Haitians. Those Haitians were out there celebrating Flag Day back in May, and they're pushing videos of crowds of a peaceful celebration and concerts at the Barclays Center and all of this back in May. Do the research. The Flag Day took place back in May, and then Nubreed is trying to push it like it took place now in July or late June, like, oh yeah, look at the ICE agents getting put just because you see a cop in the crowd. That cop in the crowd was dancing, having fun, beating on drums that they had when they had the instruments out there. They was having fun too. But see, this is the type of stuff he does to instigate. Now let me finish playing this video because we really about to switch gears. But again, we're listening to people that are actually Liberian respond to President Trump calling their president speaking good English. See, it's not for us. If you're not Liberian, you can't accurately say, you can give your stance on it, that's fine, but it's not going to be offensive to you. So your response may be biased. Your response is going to be like, well, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Of course you don't see anything wrong with it. It wasn't addressed towards you. It wasn't addressed to your culture, your heritage, your lineage, where you from. So of course you're not going to have any problem with it. But if somebody from some other nation says something like that as a leader to somebody that's also supposed to be a leader on your behalf, you might take it offensive. You might see it as prejudice. You might say, oh, that person got something against me too. Come on now. I'm just giving y'all something to think about. But anyway, let's go.
He picked on the president of Liberia, asking him where he learned how to speak English and where he was educated at and stuff like that, as if he thought that Africans don't know how to speak English. I don't know why he thought Africans don't know how to speak English, but that wasn't a smart move for him to think that Africans don't know how to speak English, because as a matter of fact, every average African understands and knows how to speak up to about 4 different languages. As a matter of fact, Africans are really way better than so many other countries when it comes to handling languages, because we travel, we move. We don't get stuck in Africa. We move around the whole world. We learn people's culture, languages, and all of that. We know how to deal with people worldwide. But it's crazy to think that Africans don't know how to speak English. That's weird. As a president, you would think that he already did his research on the people that he was going to be having meetings with, instead of coming to the Oval Office and disrespecting his guests and disgracing us as Americans as well. This don't make no sense. I know what? Americans really need to do better in the next election, man.
So you heard what he said. He said Americans need to do better in the next election. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to switch gears, because now it's gonna kind of take a turn. Okay, first of all, let me show, since shout out to Al Kelly 2121 with the comment about Liberia. Let me show y'all a background with Liberia. Okay, now I'm just gonna give y'all a brief background, because what President Trump said and did, that would be like calling somebody from Florida or somebody from California or New York, or I don't know, anywhere any Kansas, it don't matter, right? Any one of the 50 states, like, wow, you speak great English. Duh, I'm a part of the United States. English is our native language, right? Let's look at a real quick history in Liberia, because people need to understand this, and maybe there's some people here that don't know this, and they're going to learn something today. Watch this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to... This is Africa, and here's Liberia. Now let's have a look, shall we? Liberia's story begins a very long time ago, but those ancient inhabitants left very few traces of themselves. But as the centuries passed, various tribes migrated into the land, following the collapse of larger empires to the north. And to this day, the land is home to many different peoples, such as the Pele, Bassa, and Kru, agricultural and metalworking societies ruled by chiefs and following animist religions. In the 1400s, the Portuguese sailed about the area, which came to be known as the Grain Coast, because of the trade in grains of the then very valuable Malagueta peppers. Skipping ahead to the early 19th century, this Grain Coast region was selected by an American organization called the ACS as an ideal spot to relocate African Americans, both freeborn and those freed from slavery.
Do y'all hear that? Freeborn and free from slavery, which means that if you are a part of Liberian, then Liberians are also, quote unquote, foundational Black Americans. I mean, because they are American colonized. Maybe they forgot what ACS is. American Colonization Society. Okay? Not some other country colonization society. American. That means that Liberians are FBA. But Nubreed will put out lies and be like, well, you're African, so, you know, you're not actually a foundational Black American. I'm telling you, man, this guy is trouble. Anyway, we're looking again at the history of Liberia. Let's go.
Americans, both freeborn and those freed from slavery. Several thousand made the voyage, and lands were acquired from local chiefs. And thus a colony was formed, which came to be known as Liberia, meaning free place. The capital, Monrovia, was...
Y'all hear that? Liberia literally means free place.
Named after US President James Monroe, who had been a strong supporter of the ACS. These settlers, or Americans...
I want to comment. Maggie B says President of Liberia should have corrected Trump on the spot. You know the funny thing about that, Maggie B? You're right. He should have. However, if he did that, then whatever negotiations, whatever reason for them to sit down and to have the conversation on, all of that would have went out the door. Because then President Trump would be like, why are you trying to correct me? I didn't say anything wrong. I was just giving you a compliment. And then it would make it look like the president of Liberia would be the one in the wrong, even though in that particular instance, if he did it respectfully, my key word, respectfully, he would have been in the right. But see, this is how it was in terms of this is the same play that Nubreed does. You can't correct him. If you correct him, even if you do it respectfully, he's going to try to say that you're a demon, you're a narcissist, you're this, you're that, da 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 da. He goes on a smear campaign. It's like he can't be corrected. All right, but anyway, let's go.
Americo-Liberians had very little in common with the natives and did not integrate with them, but rather kept to themselves, and clashes and fighting flared up every now and then. In 1847, Liberia declared independence, and Joseph Jenkins Roberts was elected president. The United Kingdom was the first to recognize the new state, which was Africa's first republic. The Americo-Liberians continued as a ruling elite minority, but their efforts at extending their territory were stymied by the French in the Ivory Coast and the British in Sierra Leone, and the young country's economy began to falter. In 1926, under Charles D.B. King, Liberia negotiated a deal with the Firestone Tire and Rubber Company, and rubber plantations popped up, and exports were shipped out, and money washed in.
So y'all understand Firestone? The reason Firestone, how long Firestone has been around? Back in the day, depending on how young you are, Firestone was around before a lot of y'all were even born. That's because of Liberia, right? There's a lot of ties and connection in business as it relates to America and Liberia.
1930, President King was compelled to resign after a League of Nations commission discovered Liberia was engaged in slavery and forced labor. During World War II, Liberia's rubber proved highly beneficial to the Allies, and the United States built up Liberian infrastructure, and the country prospered under the long regime of William Tubman. Now, since the Republic's foundation, the country had been ruled by members of the colonizing Americo-Liberian or Congo class, and the indigenous inhabitants of the land were growing more and more frustrated. In 1980, Master Sergeant Samuel Doe led a military coup and seized power, and the president and his cabinet were shot dead. Doe became president, but in 1989 his reign was challenged by a former government minister, Charles Taylor, who
I want y'all to remember Charles Taylor.
led a rebel army against him in the First Liberian Civil War. The conflict ruined the nation. 200,000 people were killed. The economy was decimated and living standards plummeted. Taylor became president, but was himself toppled by rebels in the Second Liberian Civil War. In 2005, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf became the first woman elected to lead an African state and made peace and reconciliation a top priority, winning the 2011 Nobel Peace Prize for her wonderful efforts. In 2017, the football legend George Weah was elected president, vowing to tackle the corruption that has long poisoned Liberian politics. Liberia today faces manifold obstacles to betterment, but it has done admirably recovering from its horrific years of strife and upheaval. And here's hoping that this good land, rich in resources, sees happier times ahead. But as for me, it's bye for now. Bye-bye!
So that's kind of just a brief background on Liberia, just in case someone didn't know. There's a lot that took place. We could go deeper. We could break it down more. But again, this is just a brief background and show you the connection as it relates to the United States. Now, what I want to show you is that even though you got the colonization attempts and all this going on, there's a lot that's going on. Now, what I want to show you is that everything in Liberia wasn't all quote unquote, what do they say, peaches and cream. It wasn't all good. There were some things that took place. Yeah, Maggie B's right. It's a beautiful country. right? Yeah, Thomas, look, Taylor met a tragic end. There's a lot of history as it relates to, again, the United States and Liberia. So that's a relationship you want to try not to damage. What's up, Allison? Good to have you, Allison. Is it Bleb? Allison Bleb or Bleeb? Shout out to all the new people in the building. Y'all continue to double tap the screen and share your wonderful comments. Now, what I want to show you is something where things take a turn. Okay, because where we're going to go from here, it's not just as simple as, oh, well, Liberia was colonized and that's it. Okay, it's deeper than just having Liberia colonized. It's a lot deeper than that. But anyway, part of what I want to go into is that what you see is that Liberia was a group of people who were once oppressed, okay? And they started essentially replicating systems that they had learned from America, right? Not because they were evil, but because they thought it would keep them safe, stronger, in control. So you find a lot of the things that took place here in America was also taking place in Liberia. A lot of systems of oppression. And this is something that you find Nubreed Global Truth likes to do. For example, he'll say, if he's live streaming, he'll open up the live chat and he'll have people say, come on my panel. He had a lot of you MAGA supporters, right? A lot of you who rock with Trump. A lot of you that are MAGA supporters, he had y'all. He's like, yeah, I challenged the MAGA supporters. He had y'all come up there not to challenge you all respectfully, but he wouldn't allow you to actually challenge his argument. If you try to challenge his argument, he would time you out. He would shut you down. I'm not talking about being disrespectful. I'm talking about your argument literally has enough validity to challenge what he's saying. He would time you out and shut you down. And he's done this time and time again. So you essentially cannot challenge his argument, even if you wanted to, even if it's right. That is the position that the president of Liberia is in when he was dealing with President Trump. He was not in a position where he could challenge the argument, even in that situation, with him being right in terms of it being offensive and disrespectful, prejudice, whatever you want to call it, with him speaking good English, when English is their native language. Just because you're right doesn't mean that you're always able to do that, because we're dealing with certain systems of power. And this is how Nubreed operates. He runs his platform. If you come in the comment section, listen, if you were to go on his platform at any time and you disagree with him, he's going to time you out and shut you down. Listen, people could disagree with me all day long. The only time you're going to get timed out and shut down on my channel is if you're cursing me out. I'm not cursing you out. You're saying something extremely disrespectful to the viewers in the chat, besides myself, what have you, and you're breaking YouTube's terms and policies. I don't do that. But on his platform, even if you're not cursing him out, you're not doing it. If you disagree with him, if you come on his panel, he's going to shut you down because it's a power play. This is how he runs his channel. Again, we're talking about the psychology of power. Read the title of this live stream. We're talking about the psychology of power. Nubreed plays a lot of psychological games. For example, like what he said, he lied saying that 500,000 Haitians got deported. They did not get deported. He literally lied, put out a video, which let me put it on the screen. He put out a video here saying that 500,000 Haitians got 500,000 Haitians that Trump tried to deport them, and basically they chased ICE out and that they fought back. That's a lie. That is a lie. What he's showing you is video footage from Flag Day that took place back in May, and then you got other Haitians that are lying, and they don't even know what they're talking about. I mean, come on, man. At some point in time, people got to take accountability. 500,000. They were attending a concert at the Barclays Center with big Haitian artists, and they was partying, dancing. They had police there because police come there to show up and make sure that everything is fine. And when they see it's fine, they leave. It's crazy. Allison Bliff, she says, how many subscribers does he have? I'm assuming you're talking about Nubreed. Nubreed now currently has 204,000 subscribers. And then he has another channel that has 18.3. He goes over to his entertainment. He has Nubreed Universal Entertainment with 18.3 thousand subscribers. On that channel, all he does is he trolls people like myself for exposing him and for all the wicked stuff he does. He has he goes on other content creators. He's talked about Ringo TV reactions. He just goes there. He calls it fun. He calls it entertainment. He talks dirty. He talks grimy. He got a lot of videos that he took down on both of his platforms that I have. I got all those videos downloaded that he took down, and some of them I've shown. He talk real grimy, real dirty, but then he'll come on his big channel that you see, his Nubreed Global Truth channel, like, I follow the Most High. I'm about the Bible. I do this. I do that. And he wears head wraps and clothes. Listen, it's fake. It's all fake. And I'm about to transition into some things that y'all about to see, like, whoa, when we talk about the psychology of power, and this is only part one. Wait till I start getting into the later parts of what he's been doing. This is crazy. But nonetheless, these are things that he's been doing. And what you see that has maybe taken place in American history has been duplicated in Liberian history. Okay. Again, they thought that it would keep them safe, strong, or in control, right? But what happened is over time, this same situation became a real divide in Liberia. And this is why you have a split in Liberia, just like some of these issues has caused a split here in America. You got people that if you're a Republican and you talk to a Democrat, then they're going to have you split. You'd be like, yeah, man, I can't talk to that person. I can't rock with that person because they're a Democrat. Or if you're a Democrat and you interact with a Republican, they'll have you like, yeah, man, I can't rock with that person. I can't rock with them. Only for that reason. Listen, y'all get along and everything else is cool, but only because of their political beliefs. Ain't that crazy? Same thing. You got people that's like, oh, you voted for Trump? You support Trump? Yeah, I can't rock with you. And then you got people on the other side that be like, oh, you didn't vote for Trump? You don't support Trump? I can't rock with you. Again, these systems of dividing us. They're trying to divide and conquer us. They want us to fight and be against each other instead of us being together. Now, like I said, over time, this has caused a real divide in Liberia. And it's not just cultural. It's also a political divide and an economic divide. And we see that taking place also here in America. And these divisions have not faded. Okay, all it did was, what you saw is it laid groundwork, okay, for later conflict, which was the rise of warlords like Charles Taylor. We're going to get to Charles Taylor. And what you see is this same conflict in the YouTube streets. You got quote unquote warmongers like Nubreed Global Truth, who even when was presented with biblical opportunities, he claims he follows the Bible. You had pastors involved. I was involved. All types of members of the so-called Hebrew Israelite community was involved. We had the approval and the support of all the leadership in the Hebrew Israelite community to resolve this. But yet Nubreed said that he agreed, and then less than 24 hours later on that night, he crashed out, said he want war. I got all the videos, all the proof, and a lot of that's already up on my channel alone. The only reason, listen, I got to talk about this guy because what he's doing is real dangerous to society. He's following similar things to an extent that you can see that Charles Taylor did. But yet he's getting away with it. Why? Because he uses his connections. He uses his power, he uses spell work. He's in connections with people that are questionable. And we're about to show some of this in this particular live stream. That's right. Like, Nubreed makes it seem like FBA are more legit than other black folks. So again, if you FBA, he pushes the rhetoric that you're more legit than somebody that's a Haitian or somebody that's Liberian or African, while we talk about the whole continent, or Caribbean or South American or what have you. Yeah, Allison, you will be familiar, sweetie. She says, I'm not familiar with Nubreed. You will be familiar with him, Allison. This guy is evil. He twists things. He uses a lot of rhetoric to try to sound like he's biblical and that he's righteous. But he uses witchcraft and spells and does a lot of dangerous things. Waco's right. You're not missing anything, Allison. Trust and believe you're not missing nothing. And all he does is spread misinformation and lies. Like this one video is a lie. And just like how I gave the example on how President Trump should have said, oh, I'm sorry about that, or what have you, or some version of that, an apology or whatever, even if it was behind the scenes. Maybe it took place later. Maybe Trump apologized down the road. I don't know. I don't have no proof of that. And unless y'all got proof that something like that took place, Trump didn't apologize behind the scenes. We heard the behind the scenes response from the president of Liberia based upon what was said. So all I'm saying is that Nubreed says things and he does things. He don't take his videos down. He don't issue any corrections. He doesn't do this. And what happens is this puts out misinformation, especially when you have large platforms. And then people start believing the lies. And what it does is it puts people at risk. It puts people in bad situation and it causes conflict. We're talking about the psychology of power here in part 1. This is only part 1 of exposing Nubreed. This is the psychology of power. And like I said, they're going to end up, him and the people that rock with him are going to have live streams and videos trying to slanderize my name, slanderize Ringo's name, slanderize Rollo's name, slanderize any of y'all wonderful people that are here with me right now, trying to say that, oh, this and this and that, anything to get you to not listen to the message. Listen, it's not about me. Y'all might not like me. I'm trying to get y'all to listen to the message because what he's doing is dangerous. And I'm going to show you how he's been in connection. Now, we talked about this. Let me show you a video how Nubreed has been in connection with people from Liberia. People that have known to been questionable. Let's look at this. Look at this on the screen right here. We'll put it front and center in the middle. I want y'all to see this video. So when I play it, you understand that this is coming from his channel. Okay, can y'all see that this is coming from his channel? Let me see if I could do it like, hold on, let me do this real quick. Let's see if I can get this right here. This is coming from Nubreed's channel. I just kind of want y'all to see that this is coming from his channel. Down there you see it says Nubreed Global Truth. This is a video that you're going to see with him with people in Liberia. I want to tie this in to Liberia, okay? I'm going to tie this into Liberia. Now, watch this and let me know if the sound, I'm going to do a sound check too. Let me see if the sound is working. Let me make sure that the audio is working. Give me 1 second here. I just want to do a check and make sure the audio is working because I got more than one way to play this video. Okay, the sound wasn't working. That's what I thought. So let me do this real quick. Hold on. I'm trying to get the sound. I'm going to do it this way. If it don't work, I'm going to switch gears. So we got to do another sound check.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
We're
Give me 1 second. I know the sound wasn't working on the video. Let me do one more check here. Okay, the sound wasn't working. Okay, sound is working. All right, let's go. So what I want you to see now, the individual that's right here, I guess you could say second to the left, I have the cursor around with the like burgundy maroon colored hat on. That is Nubreed of Nubreed Global Truth. Okay, this video is up on his channel. Okay, I have the cursor circling him. This is Nubreed. So if y'all saw him on the cover, this is him. Okay, I want y'all to listen to this. Just watch this because I gotta establish something here.
Your
Bishop.
audience.
We live right now.
We live right now.
Hi.
Hello.
How you
doing?
Where are we?
We're in Monrovia, Liberia, the first African Democratic Republic. And we're number one.
Yeah, and we ready to come home. Right.
And this is our sister. She's the vice president. She's an Igma, and we're here with our chief, our Pa, and he has granted.
Nubreed Global Truth. We have can we introduce?
Yes, introduce everybody.
Yes, Ambassador Sorba.
Yes, I'm the resident ambassador here in Liberia, trying to encourage our brothers to come back home.
Yes.
America is not your home. Come back home, it's time.
Excellent, excellent. And we have our ambassador here in Liberia.
Ambassador Ibrahim Willem, United Nations of Israel, here representing in charge, in the diaspora to make sure they come back and live all together so they can build our own country, Liberia.
Excellent. They know you are.
Yeah, they know already. You already know me. You already know me. Come on home, y'all. The Liberian government is ready to work along with all of us to come back home and make Africa a big empire again, starting from Liberia. So come on home. We're here with our mom, Madam Vice President, and she have opened her arms to our brothers that came from the United States, and you can see it for yourself. This is live, this is real, and Liberia is willing to work with every one of you.
Yes.
Shalom.
You know some people did. You know some people in the United States didn't believe. Yeah, it's okay. I wanna make sure.
No, wait.
Okay. Okay, here you go. You got it. You got it. All right, family, make sure that you like this video right away.
And let's talk about Liberian voice.
And that's supposed to be Nubreed's right-hand man. You're with the Za right here in the middle of the screen that I'm circling. Okay, with the yellow, you see? The yellow outfit on. That's supposed to be his right-hand man. He went MIA too. That's another conversation for another day. But anyway, let's go.
For a moment too, because sometimes the Western world gives a bad rap. Y'all already know how the news media does, and they make it seem like it's totally male-dominated and chauvinistic. That couldn't be further from the truth. Here we were just discussing this book here called Liberian Voices, and I want to let you all know that there's powerful opportunities for ladies as well here in Liberia, and you're hearing it from Madam VP, Vice President of Liberia, so you can take it 100%. It's true. You hear me? Yeah. Yes, indeed.
What questions do you have for the VP?
Well, one question I would like to ask you is the people back at home in America. What is a message that you could just give, a resounding message for them to know who they are as far as their historical background? Because a lot of people are aware who watch the channel, but I'm pretty sure some people will be educated by coming directly from the motherland, coming directly from where we came from.
Okay.
And the woman in the middle, if you don't know, the woman right here in the middle, this is Madam Jewel Taylor. She was the vice president of Liberia. Okay. The president of Liberia is Charles Taylor. Okay. That was her husband. And for those of you that know the background with Charles Taylor, you might get an idea of where I'm going with this as this relates to Nubreed. Okay. Because what I want to show you is that Nubreed is established with these people. What's up, Corey Bennett? Make sure y'all double tap the screen when you come in the building. I appreciate all the new people pulling up. And again, we already showed in the beginning about how Trump was talking to the current president of Liberia and to say, hey, you speak great English when English is Liberia's native language. It's kind of ironic. So anyway, I want to play a little bit more of this to establish Nubreed's relationship with the former vice president of Liberia. Okay, I'm about to tie some things together now, and you're going to understand some things that I'm about to get to.
I'm Jewel Howard Taylor, the first female vice president of Liberia. Liberia was created by returnees from America, and our brothers who have been sold for over 400 years came back and created a nation of liberty. And we're 175 or 6 years this year. And it is an old country, the first democratic republic on the continent. But our linkage to the United States is blood. It's not friendship, it's blood linkages. And so if you're looking for anywhere to visit, it has to be Liberia. Because we have blood ties, we have family ties. And most of the Black Americans, if they go and check their DNA, they will find out that they're linked to this land. Oprah Winfrey, I understand, had done some DNA a few years ago, and in fact, she comes from the place I come from. Somehow she hasn't come to visit, but there is no greater experience than coming home and touching your feet on the soil of this nation. You'll feel that connection, and this is home. I look forward to welcoming you guys very soon. Let's start to rebuild the Africa of our dreams. This is where it's happening. Thank you for this opportunity.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe you got listen. iRobot. You just don't know anything. Oh my goodness. Yes, I did say that English is Liberia's native language. Learn some history, iRobot. I mean, come on. Oh my goodness. Like, take a look and learn something, iRobot. Listen, iRobot. It says right here, English. Come on now, English. Oh my goodness, man. Come on. Like, some people got, yeah. Some people got to learn something. Anyway, back to the video, man, because these people just don't understand. Let's go. All right, I might. Okay, so let me skip gears because when the chief was talking, it's hard to really make out what he was saying. Let me just kind of skip around a little bit. Let's see, because it's not so much about the chief. Let me see. They were praying. I want to skip. Let's see. Let me skip to right here real quick. Let's see. Thank you. Somebody said it in the chat. Shout out to Lively Cut. Says all of America's allies speak English. It's crazy, man. Anyway, let me play this. Let's go. And what I want to establish for you is I want everybody viewing to see that you got Nubreed that's right here on the left with the, like I said, the burgundy maroon hat on, and you have the former vice president, Madam Jewel Taylor, here in the middle. Okay, and Nubreed is there, quote unquote, fraternizing former relationships with her. You're gonna understand why I'm bringing all this up, because again, we're talking about the psychology of power. We're about to go somewhere with this, and y'all gonna learn a lot of history. Let's go. Listen, Allison Bleb, she told me, she says he is an agent. He might very well be an agent. This is a conversation that we're wondering, because a lot of things that he does, it's like he acts as if he's untouchable. What's up, Smitty Smith? He acts like he's untouchable, like he can't do anything wrong, like he can't do anything wrong. He can say whatever, do whatever, and he feels invincible. He feels like he could just talk about anybody with no recourse and no repercussion. But he act like if you talk about him and you call him, when I say talk about him, I'm not just saying spreading lies and misinformation. I'm talking about you're calling him out, holding him accountable. Then he acts like, well, nothing's going to happen to me, but he's going to send all his demons, all his trolls, whatever. He tries to silence you. You see the same psychological power. You see the same play, the power book. You're silenced. You can't speak out against him. They'll try to troll you, try to ruin your reputation, say this, say that, try to hurt your pocketbooks, do this. This guy, Nubreed, has a track record of doing a lot of bad things. And what they do is they go around doing a little good, and they try to make it seem like it's good. Now, Smitty Smith, I understand you say go Trump. I'm fine with that. But don't spam the chat. If you spam the chat, you're going to get timed out. So we get the point. Go Trump. But don't spam the chat, okay? You got to say something else, Smitty. Oh, well, dang. Lively Cuss just cut, Lively Cuss just cut you out. We're not doing no spamming, okay? So anyway, what I want to establish is I want you to see how Nubreed is fraternizing with Madam former Vice President Jewel Taylor here in Liberia. Let's go. Let me see if I can find something else. Let's see where he's speaking. Here we go. Let's see. What's up, Real Topics? So if Nubreed is working for dual citizenship for everybody in the States, this is what I want y'all to understand. Hold on. For some reason, the audio, hold on, man. Y'all got to let me know if y'all can't hear the audio on the actual video. Let me do this. I have the video. Let me just do it like this, man. Let me just play the actual video. I'll just do that because I don't feel like playing these games. I'm trying to show you from the website that you can see that let's see, I'm gonna pull the actual video. You can see from the website that this is on Nubreed's channel.
We live right now.
Okay, so let me pull the actual video up. Let me try to get to the same spot. Give me 1 second here. Let me see. Let me get to, okay. I'm trying to get to the same spot. All right, let's just listen from here where you can hear Nubreed speaking, okay? Let's put it in the middle. Let's go.
The issue of governance is hard. Right. The issue of passport is hard.
Yes.
So as you leave here, I'll be visiting the office. She said tomorrow I'll be there. And once we get there, passport issue 100 because 2-3 maybe be a deal. But once we discuss it and we're communicating with the bishop, you have 50 of them.
Right.
It will happen.
Oh yes. It will happen.
So can you reiterate for the people?
Okay. Say for the people that there's a method being worked out to expedite the process of gaining a passport. What we want is dual citizenship for everyone in the States. Dual citizenship or come back home, and we want that gateway, the door of return as we call it. We want it to be wide open for everybody to come. Right? And this man right here, Ambassador Strobo, he's been nothing but spitting the entire time we've been here. And this is coming from officials. And I know, not to make a comparison, but you know you don't get that kind of love unless it's coming from your people. You don't get that kind of love from, you know, the States with any of these official people. So just know that this is in all sincerity and all seriousness. Things are about to change.
So if things are about to change, and in all sincerity, because that's what he said, that he's trying to work on dual citizenship with passports in Liberia, how come Nubreed since what, April, what is this video? April 4th of 2023. Okay, y'all can see when it was streamed live. April 4th of 2023. Let me, oh, I forgot the cursors. Let me scroll down a little bit more so y'all can see it. Okay, so if this video was streamed then, let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger so y'all can see it says live April 2023. Is that better? Y'all should be able to see the date. Okay, y'all see the date on here? All right, y'all see it's the same video. So if Nubreed was trying to work with dual citizenship with Liberia, How come he hasn't pushed this at all on any of his videos? Do y'all see? If he really was there in Liberia to actually set out to have dual citizenship for people in Liberia, why is he calling them? Yes, Waco's right. He calls them tethers. He calls Liberians tethers. Listen, if you're a Liberian, Nubreed calls you tethers. But yet he claimed that he went there with the former Madam Vice President Jewel Taylor, claiming that, yeah, I got this connect. We here with all the officials. You there with the officials. How come you didn't make it official? This is what I want y'all to see. He's trying to make it official like, hey, I'm trying to help. And nothing's wrong with having dual citizenship. How come he ain't made no videos after that talking about what he's going to do? He has not made any videos since April of 2023 talking about dual citizenship or working out anything in Africa. And yet he also has a live stream where he also talked about, let me get this up here because I want to make sure I get the video to where y'all can hear the audio. He has this video right here. The video that's at the top of the screen. I'll bring it down. Okay. The video here, because what I'm trying to establish here is you see that Nubreed presents himself like he's for the people, like he cares about people, but there's no follow-up. There's no follow-up initiatives. There's no updates. What if you were Liberian here in the United States or perhaps you just black period in the U.S. and you wanted to have dual citizenship in Liberia? He didn't follow up on it because he don't care about that. He just want to make certain moves so he can look like he the man so that you can be googly-eyed and drool over all the moves he making like, oh, he's the guy, he's the man. He wants to make it look like he's doing stuff, but he's not. And while we're on it, I actually know some high-ranking officials currently as it speaks in Liberia. I actually know some Liberians. So when he tries to do damage control and be like, well, you didn't see brainwaves over there. Listen, you don't know who I know and you don't know who I'm in contact with. I said this many a times. But the point is we're talking about this guy who's not legit. Now, what I want you to see in this particular video in the middle, this is on his entertainment channel that he put out on March the 26th, 2025. Because what he does is he bounces around from channel. So y'all can see that on the screen. See this right here? It says stream live on March the 26th, 2025. I have it highlighted. What I want you to listen to is what he said in this particular video. Because when you hear what he says in this particular video, you might be like, oh, dang, I didn't know it was like that. Hold on a sec. I need to get to need to find my point. Let me see how does it look. Okay, it's still straight on the screen. I just got to make sure that where I need to be. Okay, so this is what I want y'all to listen. Okay, because see, I got to establish this. Watch this.
More mini homes. I got to get the details on that.
Let me make sure the audio's working here. I'm just checking the audio, y'all. Give me 1 second here. Okay, it works. It works. All right, here we go. Shout out to In the End, God Wins. I absolutely agree. In the End, God Wins says, I follow Christ, not people. These false prophets come in many forms and various genres. Thank you so much for your comment. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That is so true. And that's what I'm trying to show you, that Nubreed is a false prophet. It looks like listen, y'all, let me make this clear. It looks like he's good. It looks like everything is right. It looks like that's safe for you to go. He's going to lead you and set you up and misguide you and get you into a whole dark path. Now, listen to what he says here about Africa. Let's go.
But with the mini homes, let's say you got some passive income, but it's not enough for you to just transition all at once. You can get your mini home. Would you do a project outside of the US? I attempted to. but it wasn't time yet. So would you do a project outside of the US? I attempted to, but it wasn't time yet. So I will be doing a project in Africa yet. So I will be doing a project in Africa yet. So I will be doing a project in Africa later, much later. It's gonna be later. What about cabins? You know what, Farrah? That is something that.
So see, he mentioned about doing a project in Africa. This is one of the references that I want you to see. This is this year of 2025. So if he met with the so-called leadership in Liberia, but then he's talking about doing a project now, this year, where's the project? Where's the passports? The guy is false. He also had a land initiative. If you look at the particular title of the video, okay, let me scroll down. It says UP Farms is a glitch in the Matrix. Okay, and he's talking about his land initiative. It has failed. I went to UP Farms. I helped set up UP Farms. I kept things running with UP Farms. There's plenty of videos on that. I don't want to go prove that and show that. All you got to do is search on my channel. If y'all be like, Brainwaves was there? Go search on my channel. I got receipts. I got videos. I got books on this guy. I got everything. Right? The guy is playing psychological power plays on your mind. Oh, he's in Liberia. He's wearing the attire. He's so African. He's so this. He's so that. But then he got a white wife. He didn't follow up on the passports. He not doing anything with Africans. He's sitting up there trying to get Haitians riled up in their feelings, get them caught up to go challenge ICE, which means that you're obstructing and you're assaulting and doing. Listen, y'all, it's a whole lot of stuff legally. You cannot go there and interfere with federal agents. He's telling lies. When it was Flag Day back in May of this year in New York at Barclays, where they celebrate Flag Day, and it was hundreds of thousands of Haitians pouring out because that's what they do. Right? That's what they do. He's up there trying to make it seem like it's something else. It's crazy. Sorry, y'all. Just had a call come in and had to send a text. So, that's what he does. That's what he does. He tries to make himself seem righteous and seem legit. He speaks a couple of scriptures here and there, and he throws on the clothes and does it. But all he does is do spells and do witchcraft and do this and do that. Just like y'all saw, for those of you that was around when I first tried to go live. And I left it up as proof. All this static and all this information. If there was any static again, it's because of him. It's not my equipment. I'm using a Shure mic. I have professional grade studio equipment, etc., etc. Nothing's wrong with it. I even recorded a video in between. Everything works just fine. All my audio, I got multiple mics, multiple audio interfaces, multiple setups as a backup. All this guy does is do witchcraft and spells. Nubreed is a witch. He's a warlock. He's a warlock, narcissist, demon. And a lot of them like positions of power so they can threaten individuals who speak out. What's up, June? Like I said, I got real Liberians here in the building right now in the chat. This guy tried to do a land initiative, said he was going to have an initiative this year, but instead he didn't do that. Instead, he's showing some fringe ATL group because everything he did was, it's just a waste of time. He was scamming people, trying to get people on contracts. That's all he does. He only care about money. He put Trump in every single video he does only for money. He don't care if the information's right, if it's wrong, as long as he get clicks and views. As long as he making money off of it, he don't care. Just like he did with the previous land initiative. I was a part of it. I was a part of the actual team. I knew what money was coming in and going. But he tried to lie and say I wasn't a part of the leadership team. But yeah, I got nothing but receipts and proof and records of that. If I wasn't a part of the leadership team, how the hell would I have proof and records of all of that? You see the lies that the guy says sound familiar? Power, psychological power play. These are the playbooks that he follows. and he uses his platform. His platform's bigger than mine. He figures he could go out and do this and hit more people and do all of that. If he really cared about the people, what's up, Michael Vizard? Michael Vizard in the building, all the way from England. That's what's up. Shout out to England. Yo, England in the building. Everybody from England, pull up. Shout out to y'all. Man, listen, this guy is bad. He jumps from one group to the next and then calls them all types of, it's telling you, man, this is crazy. Yes, in the end, God wins, says, please pray and ask God for discernment before you leave your bed in the morning. Ask God for discernment about Nubreed. If you truly follow God, he will show you. This guy is a false prophet, and he's dangerous with what he's doing. And again, he had a land initiative in UP Farms. He claims he's going to do one in Africa. Where is all of this work that he claims that he's doing? He claims that he cares about people, but all he does is lie to people. Now, you saw that he's fraternizing here with Madam Vice President. Let me go back in the beginning.
Your audience.
You see him right here with the former Vice President of Liberia, right? Jewel Taylor. He's there fraternizing with her. Now, let me give you a little background on Jewel Taylor, okay? Because y'all need to understand something. So what we're looking at here is, this is Jewel Taylor, okay, who you see on the screen in like the blue outfit, the navy blue outfit that's right next to Nubreed in the middle. That's Nubreed Global Truth in the middle. Or should we say Nubreed Global Lies? And this is Jewel Taylor. Now, let me show you something about Jewel Taylor, okay? It says that Jewel Taylor is a Liberian politician who served as the 30th vice president of Liberia from 2018 to 2024. She's not currently the vice president. It says that she was married to convicted warlord and former president Charles Taylor from 1997 to 2006 and was first lady of Liberia during his presidency. Y'all see this? Now, let me skip down to something that you got to understand. Because the rest of this, you could kind of say, okay, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna pull up a video. Let me pull up a video. Let me pull up a video real quick. Actually, let's switch gears. Because you need to understand Jewel Taylor. Yeah, Lively Cuts, look her up. You need to understand why Nubreed. Why is Nubreed fraternizing with Jewel Taylor as if this is a good thing? But he's a convicted criminal and got a long, extensive criminal background. And he's done some criminal things as it relates to me and other content creators and people that aren't content creators that I have literally shown you proof. I have testimonials of these people. I'm talking about legal documents. Dealing with police, law enforcement, court documents, all types of stuff as it relates to this guy. This guy is a criminal. And then he's associating with a known regime leadership in Liberia that has ties to criminal activities. Now, how do you say that, Brainwaves? What are you talking about? Why are you talking about ties to criminal activities? Let me tie this in real quick, okay? Because by the time I get done, y'all gonna have an understanding of what's going on here. Y'all gonna have an understanding, okay? Because there's a lot that's going on. Now, let's look at who Charles Taylor is and how he relates to Jewel Taylor, the former vice president, and how this relates to Nubreed being involved with and in connection with a particular, again, potentially, allegedly criminal regime.
The impact of the war on Sierra Leoneans, when you look at the level of harm that was done to civilians, you know, the cutting off.
Y'all see their arms cut off? That's legit. This is under the regime of Charles Taylor. And Jewel Taylor was in politics Even if she wasn't the vice president, she still was in politics back then. She was in leadership while all of this was going on. And I'm about to get to some more things as it relates to her. Let's just watch this real quick and we'll get to some more things.
Of the arms and legs of civilians, it's a very sad thing. And as First Lady, I want to say that I still don't see the connection.
Of course she won't see the connection of what's going on. You're technically tied to it, or your name is associated with the things that went on, even if you're not found guilty. So of course you're not going to see it. The same way that Nubreed don't see the things that he did, even when the entire Hebrew Israelite community was calling him out. All the leaders made videos about him. It wasn't just me. All the leaders, he went in on all the leaders. He disrespected pastors. He disrespected elders. He disrespected everybody that had any type of legitimacy and a reputation with being true and being right. He disrespected them as it relates to his moves. Do you see the pattern here? Same old beats, same old flows, same old streets, same old roads, same old speech, same old shows. Everybody sound the same. Look around, it's nothing changed. Now watch this.
Of how he could be held responsible for those things done in Sierra Leone when they were actually done by Sierra Leonean armed forces. I'm sorry that things happened the way they did in Sierra Leone, but it's hard to be responsible for rape in Liberia and someone gets raped in Sierra Leone. And these are some of the issues, rape and torture, that he was not personally involved with. As a layperson sitting outside and watching the trial, I didn't see that clear indication without a reasonable doubt that this person was involved. I don't think he should be held responsible for problems in Sierra Leone. However, if you talk about the crime.
Okay, so actually, I take this back. Ringo, you said that you sent me a link, and you're gonna see how Nubreed was once cool with Diddy Dow's right-hand man, Pastor Dow, a known Hebrew Israelite in the community. Listen, a lot of y'all are not familiar with Hebrew Israelites, but I gotta tie all this in. I'm gonna play the video because another fellow content creator who, again, Nubreed is gonna drag, and those that rep Nubreed and push Nubreed and support Nubreed for whatever agenda, they're gonna try to push this. And they're going to try to say that Ringo's information is wrong. So I'm going to play his video in just a second that he just sent me. Okay? I'm not going to wait until part 2. We're going to play it now. Let's go.
Crisis in Liberia, for which he was head of, then that's a different story. Our country has gone through a very difficult process. There is still much left to be done. Our country is still not reconciled. I do not think a war crimes court for Liberia will be the best thing. We are a very small country.
Of course, she doesn't think a war crimes court for Liberia would be the best thing. Why? Because it could potentially implicate her and implicate a whole lot of people in that particular position and implicate people that might even be here in America. Again, it said a world war crimes court. They don't want that implicated there. Just like the same reason that Nubreed didn't want to follow the steps in Matthew about reconciliation and brotherhood and how you're supposed to follow biblical principles and how the Bible says to keep things out of court and all this stuff. And then this same individual's talking about my lawyers are going to have a field day as it relates to trying to sue Ringo off of freedom of speech. But yet he's violating scripture that you're not supposed to take your brother to court. Believers are not supposed to go to court. They're not supposed to. I understand how the world works, but I'm just trying to let you know. Let me show you the scripture. Let me show you the scripture. Y'all got to understand this. Take a look at this on the screen real quick. Look at 1 Corinthians chapter 6. That's what we're looking at. It says, do not take believers to court. It says, suppose one of you wants to bring a charge against another believer. Should you take it to ungodly people to be judged? why not take it to the Lord's people? And that's what we did when there was conflict in the community, in the Hebrew Israelite community. I'm giving y'all history, not only what happened with Liberia. I'm not only giving you history and what just recently took place with President Trump speaking to the president of Liberia. I'm also giving you history of what took place in the Hebrew Israelite community. And those of you that know your history, hey, you might know what's going on. But those of you that don't, now you do. The Bible says, why not take it to the Lord's people? When we had a issue and we took it to the Lord's people, Nubreed didn't want to follow that because he's a false prophet. It says in verse 2, or don't you know that the Lord's people will judge the world? Okay. It says, since this is true, aren't you able to judge small cases? Don't you know that we judge angels? It says, then we should be able to judge things of this life even more. So, suppose you disagree with one another in matters like this. Who do you ask to decide which of you is right? Do you ask people who live in a way that the church disapproves of? Of course not. I say this to shame you. Is it possible that no one among you is wise enough to judge matters between believers? Instead, one believer goes to court against another, and this happens in front of unbelievers. Listen, it says in verse 7, when you take another believer to court, you have lost the battle already. Why not be treated wrongly? Why not be cheated? Instead, you yourselves cheat and do wrong. And you do it to your brothers and sisters. Don't you know that people who do wrong will not receive God's kingdom? Don't be fooled. The Bible talks about this. And yet, Nubreed has said, let me see if I got the screenshots. I don't know if I have this convenient. Those of you that know the history said that, yeah, my lawyers are going to have a field day with this one with Ringo. But then when he does the same thing on his channel, he gets away with it. Nobody questions him. See, that's that wicked authority. That's that power play, the psychological power. People do it because they believe that he's more powerful than somebody like me with a smaller channel. See, Nubreed believes that he's more powerful than those that are smaller or not associated with big groups or anything. And he only reps big groups. That's all he does. He only reps big groups, big anything, because he does these power plays. Let me see if I can find this. If not, I have it up on my channel. I have screenshots. I'll see if I can find it while I'm playing the video content. Let me just see if I got this. Let's see if I got this. I want to show you something in particular. Give me 1 second here. I'm looking for something, y'all. Just trying to see if I can find something real quick. If not, I'll try to show you a screenshot. I think I might have to end up showing you the screenshot because I believe he took it down. This is one thing that this guy does. He puts out content and then he takes it down. So that for those of you that are new, if you go to his channel, if you go look at his content, you'll believe that, what are you talking about, brainwaves? There's nothing bad on his channel. Everything looks good. That's because he deletes it or he hides it as members only and things like that. And I have a lot of those videos. Ringo has it. A lot of content creators have it. Give me 1 second because I'm trying to see if I see it up here or if I need to go to particular posts. A screenshot or whatever. Just bear with me. Those of you that know the history, you know. Yeah, I think he took it down. So I will have to go to screenshots. Anyway, let me play the video.
Made up of less than maybe 4 million persons. And the interrelatedness of the families are so tight. If you drag one person to court, the families that are attached, it will just have a ripple effect. Of course, the war didn't come out of the sky. There were shortfalls in previous governments that created a platform that people felt they had no other option. And it escalated in what we had. And whether you were involved fully in arranging the war, whether you sat on the side and say, hey, I'm not a part of what's going on, we've all played a role somehow. And I think we should just leave it where it is and move forward. How do you ensure that whether you live here or whether you live somewhere else, there's safe drinking water and there's electricity and that there are jobs? I think that's where our energies need to be. It can no longer be about the past. I would hate to see a war crimes court brought to Liberia. It will not reconcile us. It will not bring back the past. It will not pay for the destruction of our nation. And it will definitely not put back the fabric of our country that has been destroyed as a result. There are different aspects to all of us. And so when you ask the question, who is Charles Taylor? I guess we must look at it in the different aspects. If you look at him as a father, he loved his children, he wanted the best, and he had a good relationship with them.
Yeah, he had a good relationship with his family. He took care and protected his family, but he didn't do that for the people of Liberia. And this is the same track record that Nubreed Global Lies does. Nubreed Global Lies follows the track record of, hey, he want to protect whoever he consider his family, whoever he consider in the crew, because he did that for somebody like me at one point in time. He did this for other content creators. He did this for other people. And the moment you stand up for what's true and right, then he got a problem with you. He says you're no longer a part of the family. So then he throws you out, right? Because you're bringing him a means to an end, so he'll protect that. But he's not seriously about protecting again. What happened to the protections with dual citizenship as it relates to Liberians or black folks, period, here in America that he was talking about, he was all for and all in connection? Why that drop? Where's protections for folks to be able to have land initiatives in Liberia and Africa? He talking about all of this. Where's that at? He can't even get it right here in North Carolina with the whole UP scams. This is what I'm talking about. And then he want to show some fake event, some fringe ATL event like, hey, look, I'm doing something. We doing big things. No, what are you doing? You don't care about the people. You see, you too big now. You getting all these views from talking about Trump, 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 and everything. I'm telling you, man, come on, watch this.
So you can imagine how distraught they feel. He became the focal point of the Taylor family. He took care of everyone. So we all miss him at different levels in the family. But then people on the other side could say, well, there are plenty of families in Sierra Leone where the fathers and the mothers have been killed as a result of the war. There are families here in Liberia who've lost entire members of their families. And there's no way we can bring it back. As an elder statesman, president of a nation, you will find out that the different segments of our population had a personal relationship with him. So I think he's someone who is loved by the people because of the way he interacted with them. I think he's still very popular in Liberia. The experience wasn't an easy one. I mean, even from the early stages of the war, coming into Liberia and fighting your way, and finally becoming president and saying, okay, now I have a chance, only to be disenfranchised and ending up where he is. I think if he's given a chance to come home, that he will spend the rest of his time getting to know his children and his grandchildren and just living a life of peace and maybe being the elder statesman. When people talk about the person with the greatest responsibility, for example, who are those people? I think soldiers and civilians who got caught up in the war didn't have a choice. There are no arm factories on the African continent. Who raised the arms? Who provided the funding that began this process? A lot of them are in Western countries around the world, some here at home, that have now become the darlings of the West, and some of them are not even being questioned on the roles that they play. However, this is where we are. We now have the first African head of state indicted and taken to The Hague, and that will forever remain a part of the Liberian history. If this was something right or fair or equitable, I guess history will judge it.
Now, what I'm going to do, yeah, Lively Cuss is right, says, imagine talk about Trump all day and you can't even vote. That's what I'm saying. Like, this guy is a fraud. He talk about Trump this, Trump that, Trump get, like, dude, you can't even vote. You can't even participate in the political process. Why are you lying to your audience, making it seem like you voted or you whatever, because he come out and say, I didn't vote. Yeah, you can't vote. It's not an option of, well, I decided not to vote. He literally cannot participate. He's a convicted felon. And what you're seeing is ties to a regime that is tied to another convicted felon. Watch this. Let me show you the reaction, and I'm going to get to Ringo's video that he shared. I need to show y'all another video. Like, he making Trump videos. Trump. Dude, you can't vote. This is what I'm talking about by this guy is fraudulent. You wonder why he put out misinformation. He don't care whether the information is right. He don't care nothing about that. All he care about is getting paid. All his moves are money motivated. It's not biblically motivated. Nubreed is dangerous. He's evil. This is why he said, I want war. He don't want peace. He want to fight. All he want to do is fight. He want nothing but war. He loves to create conflict. Right now, he got the Haitians turning up, thinking that they can go slap ICE in the face and be froggy and put the ICE agents and police in their place or whatever, like they ain't nothing, and gonna get those people unalive, gonna get Haitians unalive, gonna get them separated from their families and get them deported and get them to become a target of, now instead of the Latino community, now it's gonna be the Haitians. See, they're coming after Haitians. I made videos, told you that. Trying to act like he's some prophetic guy. No, he's a warlock. These are spells that he does in his videos. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me show you something real quick. Watch this right here. This is what happened with Charles Taylor in the United Nations Court. This is Jewel Taylor's husband.
Is guilty. The verdict was.
Look at this now. This is literally, okay? Let me put it back on screen. This same woman, and we're going to talk back about with Jewel Taylor, but look at her husband. I mean, her ex-husband now, but look at her husband at the time. Look at how they ruled against this. Watch this.
Charles Taylor is guilty. The verdict was delivered to the 64-year-old former Liberian president 9 years after his indictment by the Special Court for Sierra Leone. The court was set up by the United Nations and the country's government. Guilty on 11 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity, including mass murder, rape, mutilation, and recruitment of child soldiers. Tens of thousands were killed during the decade-long civil war. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Nave Pillay, called it an evolution of international justice.
It shows how far international criminal law has developed to hold even the most powerful accountable, where it is clear that they bear responsibility for serious human rights violations.
This marks the first time since the Nuremberg trials that an international tribunal has delivered a verdict of a former head of state. Karl Donitz, a naval officer who led Germany after Adolf Hitler's suicide, was convicted in 1946. More than 50,000 pages of witness testimony was presented during the 4-year trial. Taylor will be sentenced next month and serve out his jail term in the United Kingdom. Secretary General Ban Ki-moon called this a historic and momentous day for the people of Sierra Leone, for the region, and beyond.
Crazy, ain't it? Crazy, ain't it? And this is who Nubreed Global Lies is technically fraternizing it and or have fraternized with and been connected with. Now, let me give you some information on Madam former Vice President Jewel Taylor, because she wasn't found guilty of anything. But I want to show you this. We're gonna look at this article right here, because y'all gotta understand this stuff, man. This ain't no joke. Okay. Now watch this. This is what we're gonna look at. Okay. So it says right here in Monrovia, it says I'll read it. It says, despite accusations of her alleged involvement in economic crimes, FPA has obtained documents exonerating Vice President Jewel Howard Taylor from all allegations following a thorough investigation by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Now, that's what it seems like. It seems like, well, she's innocent. So what are you talking about, brainwaves? She's innocent. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, let me continue to read. It goes on to say that in the document, the TRC clarified that it investigated Madam Taylor and found her blameless of any economic crimes. Okay. Michael Vizard says, where did it say he's in prison? Yeah, it's the UK. So Charles Taylor is in a UK prison. I don't know exactly where in the UK, but somewhere in the United Kingdom, he's in prison. I guess I would look to find out more. See, I'm not going to tell y'all lies. I don't know the exact location in the United Kingdom that he's in prison, but that's where they sent him to prison, in the UK. Y'all see how I did that? I don't know the exact location in the UK. I just know that he went to prison in the UK. See that? Now, I want y'all to understand this right here, because this is going to establish how Nubreed is corrupt. Okay? It says on April 9th, 2009, the Economic Crimes Unit of the TRC certified Madam Howard Taylor for coming out of their investigation with flying colors, and that she did nothing wrong during her time as First Lady and immediately afterwards. It goes on to say, having attended several hearings before the Inquiry Unit, the IU responded to our questions and provided information and evidence. The Inquiry Unit of the Economic Crimes Unit of the TRC is satisfied that you have given us all the information we needed, and there is no basis to hold you accountable or answerable further to claims and allegations of economic crimes. Our investigations have cleared you of all allegations levied against you, the Economic Crimes Unit of the TRC said. So now this looks like Madam Taylor, the former vice president, is innocent. Brainwaves, what are you talking about? It looked like if Nubreed is fraternizing with her, then there shouldn't be any issue. Okay, but watch this. It says, in spite of the TRC certification of no wrongdoing, former TRC commissioner, now this is coming from a former commissioner, John Stewart, took to social media, Facebook, to brand the Liberian vice president as a product of dishonesty and arms from the war. Y'all hear that? Y'all see that? It's highlighted in red on the screen. Y'all see that? Okay? Y'all see this? Now we're going to go on further, because it's easy to make it seem. Think about how many people have, quote unquote, gotten away with certain things and it looks like they weren't guilty, right? It looks like they weren't guilty and they got away with certain things, but then they actually were guilty, right? Okay, let's go on. It says here, before becoming First Lady, Madam Taylor served as Deputy Governor of the National Bank of Liberia, which is now the Central Bank of Liberia, and as president of the Agricultural Cooperative Bank in '96 and mortgage financial underwriter of the First Union National Bank. So basically, she was in there with the money. You'll know how powerful individuals can have certain things passed to make it seem like they're not guilty, that nothing's wrong with them. This is a very common occurrence, right? Unfortunately, Michael, yes, you are paying this lunch money. Unfortunately. But anyhow, Hopefully y'all get that joke that Michael just crapped in the chat, whatever. But anyway, back to what it says. It says her critics, but her critics, including Mr. Stewart, remember he's a former commissioner, think that her marriage to former Liberian President Charles Taylor makes her guilty as her ex-husband, despite the abounding evidence that she has been living an impactful life and raising her voice on societal vices, especially corruption, by introducing a bill for the establishment of a specialized court in Liberia to prosecute those accused of corruption, a menace that is depriving the ordinary citizenry. Now, this is something that Nubreed does. What Nubreed Global Lies does is he tries to make himself appear righteous. How? He follows the same playbook. How does he try to make himself look righteous? He's like, hey, I'm exposing this person. I'm exposing this group. He gonna probably make a lie talking about how he exposing me or those associated with me, and to try to say that I'm corrupt because I'm associated with a content creator or this and this and that. That's what he does. And by him, quote unquote, exposing this and exposing that, you as the viewer will believe that he's righteous. He'll quote a couple of scriptures, put a little sugar on top by padding it with a couple of scriptures. He'll put a head wrap on, put a little closer. Look, y'all, I dress normal. I rock normal. I ain't trying to sit up here and act like I'm somebody that y'all not. Like I'm better than y'all just because I'm dressed some way. We out of them Old Testament times. We don't need nobody to go on behalf of God for us. That's why we have a relationship with Christ, a personal relationship. We no longer have to sit there, well, I need some holy man to go there in front of God, go talk to God on my behalf. We don't need that. I'm not saying you can't have that. I'm not saying somebody can't intercede, somebody can't pray. We don't need that. That's why Christ came, so we can have that personal relationship. So I'm not about to sit up here and be like, oh, well, Brainwaves is trying to fake the funk because he got some head wrap on. I could do all of that crap. And I'm not trying to disrespect anybody that does that. I'm just trying to make a point here as it relates to Nubreed. He tries to dress all holy and all religious. He try to like network and act like, yeah, look at what I'm doing. Look at what I'm doing to make himself look that way. And then y'all believe he's that way. But he be wicked just like these pastors. This is the same thing. He be in connection with this type of leadership. And if he's in connection with this type of leadership that has been going on in Africa, what do you think he's doing here in the States? And someone mentioned it earlier that is he an agent? They asked the question, is Nubreed an agent? He probably is. Because he feels mighty froggy to just continue to do a bunch of wrong, to continue to put groups of people at harm. Like I said, we saw the video about the Haitians. He spread misinformation. He even acting like he could be involved in politics, but the man can't vote. The man's a fraud. He's only doing it because if you put Trump in the title, those videos go viral. He's not getting you any edification as it relates to Trump. He's not breaking down stuff unless he just be talking. And he don't care because people are going to watch it. Let me continue to read this article because this article is serious. And this is who Nubreed is in connection with. This is who Nubreed is seen hugging with. Let me flip the script. Let me pull up. Let me pull that video up as I'm reading this article. Hold on. Let me put that video back up so y'all can see his face on here. Give me 1 second, y'all. Where is it at? Hold on. You can pull that video back up. Yeah, here we go.
Your audience.
We live right now.
We live right now.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, let's leave this video up right here. So y'all can see Nubreed front and center with who we talk about. The former Vice President, Jewel Taylor. So anyway, it goes on to say that she has consistently argued that the rule of the law is the panacea to sustainable peace in any given society. As such, the establishment of a corruption court in Liberia is critical to put impunity in check. Now, isn't this funny that she says that you need some type of court to put impunity in check in Liberia, but when we just watched the video with her speaking in Liberia, We just watched the interview with her speaking. She said, no, we don't need no war crimes court here. So why is it that she's saying we need a war crimes court to check crime, but prior to that, she didn't say that you need, see, man, I'm telling you, you see the flip-flopping? You see the same play? This is what Nubreed does. Nubreed will make one stance on something and then he flip-flop. Just like at one point in time, he was like supporting Trump. And then when it wasn't trending on social media to get clicks and views, he bashed Trump. He dissed Trump. He flip-flopped on whatever bring in the views, whatever bring in the money. Y'all see the same play here? Just like Madam former Vice President Jewel Taylor flip-flop. She's saying we need some type of court to check all this crime in Liberia. But then in the same thing, when I played her video, she said we don't need it. Let me pull up the video, man. Hold on, man. Let me show you what I'm talking about since we're talking about this. I got to tie this together back to back. Let me show you this video real quick. Hold on. Watch this real quick.
Solved. I do not think a war crimes court for Liberia would be the best thing.
So if she just said she don't think a war crimes court for Liberia would be the best thing, then why is she saying we need a war crimes court or right here to check the crimes right here?
Solved. I do not think a war crimes court for Liberia would be the best thing.
This is what she just said. But yet, if you read the text, she says she has consistently argued that the rule of the law is the panacea to sustainable peace in any given society. And as such, the establishment of a corruption court in Liberia is critical to put impunity in check. A corruption court, a war crimes court, that's the same thing. She's caught lying. And if she's caught lying on this, if me as a content creator has caught the former Madam Vice President lying about something like this, what else do you think she lied about? When her husband was literally convicted of all those war crimes. Of course she don't want no court at that point in time, because then that would convict her. She ain't trying to get convicted. And this is the same play that Nubreed does. What's up, Century Natural Black Life? This is the same play that Nubreed does. He flip-flop. He'll say he for something, but then he'll be against something. If anything will make him look bad, if anything will expose him, then he flip-flop on it. Just so he can get a like, so he can get a view, so he can continue to deceive people. But we caught the former vice president. How is it that me, Brainwaves, in just a matter of seconds, caught the former vice president of lying? What else could I catch her on lying if I were to do some research? This is coming out of her own mouth. June says, I'm going in. Hey, you got to go in. This is only part one. Yeah, Rochelle, she's not innocent. And wait till I let you hear what the people said to the reaction of Charles Taylor getting arrested. But let me finish reading this. It says, to her unsolicited defense, some individuals in Taylor's former inner circle claimed Jewel Howard Taylor had little influence over the president and said that Taylor was capable of deep subterfuge. Do you know what subterfuge means? It means deceit. Subterfuge is another word to mean deceit. So we got Jewel Taylor, the former vice president, that is capable of deep deceit. Nubreed Global Lies is capable of deep deceit. And we have already proven this on other matters. Come on now. And look, this is only part one. We just getting started with this. I want to show you how deep the corruption runs when it comes to Nubreed Global Lies. How deeply entrenched he is and why he feels so froggy. He feel like, I got a whole army. I got a whole everything ready to ride. That's why he always talk about, yeah, we warriors, we spiritual warriors of the Most High. He always ready to fight, always ready to engage in conflict. He even said growing up, all he did was get into fights. I got all the tapes. I got all the videos. He don't want to lie about that. I got all the videos with him saying, yeah, all I used to do is get in fight with my family members, get in trouble. All I used to do is fight, fight, fight. So wonder why he finds some similarity in individuals that are questionable. Now listen, Peter Bonner Jala, Taylor's former justice minister, told international media that the man, Charles Taylor, was cunning and secretive, just like Nubreed. Nubreed's real cunning and secretive. He talk about how he's about family, but you never see him out with his family. You never see what's really going on. He showed that one thing at that Fringe ATL event, trying to make it look like he's about family, but he don't post videos with him out and about with family. You don't see him involved with family. All you see is the lies. He hides his family. You don't see him out with his other kids. You only see him with the white baby mama. But he got kids with black women. So where is he out with the black? What is he doing with the black woman or not doing? But he portrays that he's a family man. He's all about that. Come on now. Listen. Peter Bonner Jala, which is Taylor's former justice minister, claims that Jewel would likely have known very little about the details of the president's actions. He says that he was the sort of man who could send people to have one of your family members killed and make you feel like he had done nothing, Jala said. You would never have thought he had anything to do with it. And this is exactly what Nubreed does. He does spell work. He sends other content creators to talk about you. He sends other people to troll. And you would think that Nubreed ain't got nothing to do with it when he's the one behind it. He's the one behind it. He's the one that don't stand and actually call people out for doing that. You would think he got nothing to do with it. It says Jala, who resigned in '98 over the unsolved murder and mutilation of former Taylor comrade Sam Dulkey, and his wife, last seen being arrested by security forces, as an African wife, Jewel would have had little power over her husband. Of course she ain't gonna have no power over her husband. But anyway, there's some questionable things as it relates to her. Let me play another video here as it relates to the reaction of people. Okay? As the reaction of people. Because we saw some reactions earlier. Here we go. Watch this, y'all. These are residents. These are Liberian residents reacting to Charles Taylor getting arrested. Okay? Now watch this.
It is strategy to achieve its goals who is criminally liable for aiding and abetting. Field and the practice direction of the prosecutor against Charles Taylor, including financial support, safe haven.
Again, we're watching the reaction of Liberians as it relates to Charles Taylor. Jewel Taylor, the lady that you see in blue right here, is ex-husband, being associated with Nubreed right here in the middle. Watch the reaction of what Liberians say about Charles Taylor getting arrested. Just wait, it's coming up.
1982, I've left drinking.
And you see his arm has been chopped off.
But today, I'm going to take 2 pints. Then though I don't have the other hand, to join them to post toys, but I will use my leg to celebrate. No, justice has been done against terrorism. So, I feel happy.
I feel happy for seeing this kind of thing we don't go on today because the way we are so now, not to show and if I see me condition this kind of way today, I believe say this kind of person, when they try today, in and the cause, I feel happy for see this kind of judgment because I believe say no peace without justice.
Justice has been done, but not in the type of way people think it should have been done.
Did you hear what she said? She said justice has been done with Charles Taylor being arrested for the crimes, but not in the way that it should be done. And this is what happens with individuals like Nubreed Global Truth. Justice is not been done in the way that it should be done as it relates to the lies and the slander and the he's always talking about it's a race war, it's a race war, it's a race war. He's trying to incite violence. All he knows is violence. This guy don't know peace. He act like he come in peace, but all he does is create war. He creates conflict. And then what he does is he tries to use his platform to try to say that I'm the one doing it and other people doing it. When we're calling him out, when we're trying to actually stop it, when we're showing the similarities and the psychology of power and those that operate under the same power, the same colonization and all of this crap, because that's what a lot of colonizers done. They colonized certain areas and they got the people that are native of that area to actually fight amongst themselves. Just like how it happened even here in America with the Willie Lynch letters. Oh, you light skinned. I don't like you because I'm dark skinned. Oh, I'm dark skinned. I don't like you. Oh, you a house Negro. Oh, you a field Negro. I'm better than you because I'm in the house. You out in the field. Blah, 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 blah. Same old beat, same old flows. Don't that sound like what Nubreed talking about? Oh, we FBA. Oh, we Hebrew Israelites. He'll bash you if you a Christian. If you believe in Christ, you believe in the Bible, Nubreed bashes you because you're a Christian. He bashes Christians. If you're Catholic, he bashed you. If you, listen, man, it's so much division that he does. The same playbook. That's the psychology of power. Let's go, man. Watch this.
Because people have hated them so much, and even the acts of the women, the children who are raped, the boy who have been put into ex-combat, who have been used as ex-combatants, and the impact it has impinged on them. So they thought that more harder justice should have been given to Charles Taylor than this one.
Looking at Taylor going to prison, that can solve our problems. So my message to the international community is to listen, please. Let them have him free. Let him come back to his country. And we're warning, let him not take part in politics, but to remain mute and to contribute to the development of the Liberian process.
So we're going to stop that video there. I want to play, before I switch gears one more time, I was sent a video by Ringo TV Reactions. Let me pull up that video, because what this shows is that Nubreed also is in cahoots with, or he was at one point in time in cahoots with another content creator. Okay, that's known. So let's take a look at this here. Let me make sure the audio's working. Hold on. And this is up on this is old video. This is even going back 6 years ago. All right, let me see if I can scroll down a little bit. This was something from Nubreed's platform that y'all can see. So he can't be like, oh, I made this up. Listen, what Nubreed does, he uses AI videos. He uses AI editing. He take clips here like the politicians do when somebody's running for office, a position in office, and make it seem like they said something or did something that they didn't say and do it. That's all he does. He don't show you exactly where it came from so you can watch the whole thing. No, he's not going to do that, because he's all about spreading lies. See, he's not going to tell you the truth. So he's not going to show you where it came from. He's not going to tell you where it came from so you can go look. I tell you where it came from. You can go look at the whole thing. You can watch the whole thing. You can see. He don't do that. He'll just use his little AI videos. He get his cronies, his demonic, satanic, narcissistic, hater-inspired cronies to do the same thing. They put a bunch of AI videos with hopes of thinking that they're going to tarnish our name and our reputation to bring us down. Nah, bro. We don't move crooked like y'all. We moving legit around here. That's why I'm able to come out and expose. I ain't got no dirt on me that I'm like, oh, I'm scared. And anything that they could even try to manufacture, I've already put out there. And I've already held these other content creators to a challenge. You don't see these other content creators, they'll try to say, well, Brainwaves is not good with his family. Oh, I'm not? Well, where the hell are you with your family? Where's the videos you coming out with your family? Where's the videos of you being out seen in society besides some controlled, organized event where somebody else can pull up on you while you out and about? And this don't just go for Nubreed, this go for the people that follow him. They don't come outside. They hide behind their computer. They a bunch of internet gangsters. Because they don't practice what they preach. You don't see them doing it. But they want to criticize. They want to criticize. Watch this, y'all.
I made us very intricately. And I'm not going to get into the whole detailed process, but what I will tell you is a very powerful tool. So when this energy is transmuted into one's vessel, when they're reframing from the hypersexualization of society, because that's what it is.
Right.
Society has been hypersexualized to the point where everybody is lust-filled and lust-driven. And some of the dynamics of sex magic is women and men alike operating in a spirit of seduction. So what we got to look out for, men and women, is these seducing spirits. We got to look at things from a spiritual aspect. Brothers, sisters alike. If you meet somebody, you need to know what they represent. A lot of times, some of them.
And just like he said, you need to know what he represents. This is what Nubreed does. He does seducing spirits. When he talks about his content, it's the tickling of ears. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. Look at this scripture real quick. Hold on one second. Let me I got something going on. Hold on. He want to talk about seducing spirits and seducing ears. Let me show you about what the Bible says here. Okay, what we looking at, let me put it in the middle right here. We're looking at, hold on, let me make sure y'all can see this. Okay, so we're looking at 1 Timothy chapter 4, verses 1 through 3. Now here he is talking about seducing spirits. Oh, we need to look at seducing spirits. It says, now, the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times, some shall depart from the faith. That's what's happening with Nubreed. He don't talk about God no more. He don't talk about scriptures no more. All he does is make videos talking about Trump. Trump this, Trump that, what Trump said, what Trump did. Every video is about Trump. And then every now and then he wants like, oh, I guess I better talk about God. I guess I better make a scripture. I better make a video where I'm talking about God or here or there. All his videos are primarily about Trump. And when he talk about Trump, he don't even talk about the Bible in it. When I talk about Trump, I'm always talking about the Bible. I'm bringing up how whatever happened as it relates to President Trump and how it relates to scripture or how we can refer to the scripture and what this is or what that as it relates to the Bible. He don't do that. He's like, this scripture here, this and this, and I told you, da, 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 da. Because he don't care. He getting clicks. He getting views. He's getting glory amongst men while he says that he don't want to get glory amongst men. Watch this. Look at what the scripture says real quick. We'll go back to the video. It says that now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter time some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits. He know that talking about Trump is going to get everybody to come in, aka seducing spirits. He know he can seduce the audience to come watch his videos just because he's talking about Trump. It says, and doctrines of devils. It says speaking lies and hypocrisy. And Nubreed has been found of doing hypocrisy, not just as it relates to me, as it relates to other respected pastors, as it's related to respective elders and other content creators that are in biblical truth. It says speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. It says in verse 3, forbidding to marry. But he claimed that he's married to his baby mama, the white one, the Hispanic one that you see all the time. He's claimed that they're married, but he don't follow state law. He don't follow state law. He has no papers proving that he's married with her. He has no video or no pictures of a wedding ceremony with witnesses, because if you don't have a wedding ceremony with witnesses, you're not married. That's why you have to get married in front of a witness. Just because somebody says that they married don't mean they married. There needs to be witnesses. But he's going around saying that he's married. You know why he's saying that? He's not going to have the proof to back it up, because it'll mess up his money, because they got a Section 8 situation going on. And if he actually says that he's married, he going to get kicked out of the house that he claimed his name on the lease that it's not on. And why would your name be on the lease if you got a house? Because then it would be a mortgage, not a lease. We've already debunked all of this stuff. But this is what this guy says, and this is what he does. And if you back check and fact check me, I own my house. My name is on stuff. I'm not a hypocrite like him. It says forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats which God has created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. Anyway, the point is, this is about seducing spirits, right? And then here we are about to look at the video here where he was up here talking about seducing spirits. This is crazy. This is crazy. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Yeah, let's go back. Watch this.
What we got to look out for, men and women, is what we got to look out for is these seducing spirits. We got to spirits. What we got to look out for, men and women, is what we got to look out for is these seducing spirits.
Yeah, that's what he does. What's up, Danny? What's up, Danny Jarrell? Welcome to the show.
We got to look at things from a spiritual aspect. Brothers, sisters.
And here you can clearly see, let me see if I can back it up where it, let me see.
So what we got to look out for, men and women, is what we got to look out for is these seducing spirits. We got to look at things from a spiritual
down here you can see, watch this
aspect. Brothers, sisters alike.
You see it says Hebrew Israelite.
Know what they represent. A lot.
Okay, so Nubreed he's pushing he's a Hebrew Israelite, but he don't even talk about being a Hebrew Israelite. All he talk about is being FBA. And he's in connection with, if spiritual combat is in connection with Pastor Dow. Okay? Pastor Dow is known to have been doing a lot of wicked stuff out here. Okay, some of y'all like, who is Pastor Dow? Who is Pastor Dow? Look at this right here. This is Pastor Dow right here. He's known in Hebrew Israelite to do lands and all this stuff. That's another conversation in another day. And what you'll see with this pastor, or he's in connection. You have spiritual combat be on his shows. Right here. Here's a prime example. Right here. Look at this. That's Pastor Dow, and you got spiritual combat right here on the show. Y'all see that? So when we watch this video, you see that he's in connection with a lot of questionable individuals. Pastor Dow has been brought up with a lot of questionable things. He's been associated with a lot of questionable situations. And Nubreed actually recanted everything that he said about Pastor Dow and said that, hey, I take back the things I said about Pastor Dow. So let me get this straight. Nubreed got nothing bad to say about all the people that's questionable. But all the people that has been proven to be legit and true, he got a problem with it. Y'all see the psychological power play that he's doing? Hey, you welcome here, Michael Vizard. I'm my apologies, man. Like, I got nothing to do with this, and I know I'm not being blamed for this, but I just hate the fact that you had to go through this. I've been a part of the Catholic Church. When I was younger, I grew up Catholic, so I know about this stuff. And this has nothing to do with religion. This has everything to do with our faith in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm so glad that you have you're close to God and you have a community here. I know it's late there. I appreciate your support, Michael. I really do. Michael's overseas. You know what I'm saying? It's late there, so he might be, you know, he might have to get some sleep. Yeah, DD Free is right. Nubreed drank Grey Goose on live on YouTube and said I ain't even that religious. He could have triggered an alcoholic. Y'all, there's so much to this guy I could pull up. We only in part one. If we need to, we'll refer to that stuff in part two. What I'm trying to establish is how Nubreed is trying to act like he's all about nationalism, like he cares about the citizens here, like he been involved in politics, like he actually cared. This man don't care. This man never even spoke on these things. He's just now speaking on this because it's trending. He can get clicks and views. And the moment that if you put Trump in the title and you go live talking about Trump and it don't get no views, that's when he gonna stop talking about it, because he only on a money grab. That's why he stopped pushing his UP Scams land initiative, because it ain't brought him no money. When it brought him money, he was pushing it. He ain't bringing no money. He don't care nothing about no land. Like I said, where's his care for Liberians when it comes to them getting dual citizenship? He don't care. I got Liberians in the live chat right now. He ain't trying to help you have dual citizenship here in the U.S. He not trying to help you with all these deportation situations. He didn't even address y'all. He didn't even talk about Africans. All he talked about was, you know, the Haitians. He want to lie on the Haitians. He want to take a couple of lying videos because the guy don't know what he's doing about. He believes he's exceptional. He believes that you're FBA. You're exceptional. You're better than everybody else. You're better than Haitians. You're better than Africans. You're better than Panamanians. You're better than Jamaicans. He believes that if you're a Hebrew Israelite, you're better than a Christian. He believes that if you're a Christian, everything you do and how you worship the Most High and everything is a lie with you. He believes he's better than you, that they're better. That's that separatist mindset. That's the division that he pushes. He put out content, oh, this is about to be a race war. He been saying it's about to be a race war for months. Ain't been no damn race war. The guy lies. The guy pushes anger rhetoric and content that'll get you pissed off at Trump, that'll get you pissed off at laws, that'll get you pissed off at a political party, get you pissed off at a race of people. He do that. All he does is incite violence. And he's connected with people that have incited violence. Pastor Dow has been known to separate himself and talk about how they big and bad and put down everybody. Pastor Dow puts down Christians. Well, you know, if you're a Christian, you're out there. You ain't following the Most High. You following the pagan ways. And listen, I'm telling you, Nubreed is associated with all these wicked folks. Appreciate you, Michael. I appreciate you coming back. Thank you for your support, Michael. Peace and blessings. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful and blessed night, Michael. Anybody else that's overseas, y'all got to go to? You know, hey, shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all pulling up. But look, let's go back, and I just want to show you. You can see spiritual combat, which is right here in the middle of the screen on the left, and you see Pastor Dow. And this is who Nubreed is associated with. This is who Nubreed is associated with. Let me get this pulled up real quick back on the screen because I want to make sure the audios be working. Let's watch what he said real quick. Let's go back to it. It's right in the middle of the screen. All right, y'all. Let's go.
A lot of times, some of the mistakes we make in relationships as men in particular is we just don't ask the right questions. We don't ask enough questions. We don't ask the right questions. Women tend to love to speak about themselves. We just have to have that ear to listen. We have to continue to ask those questions because you'll find out what you need to know. You can't be bombarded by the lust of your eyes, and the scriptures speak about that. Don't get overtaken. But once you gain discipline over yourself, and if you're watching pornography every night, if you're giving into those seductions,
and then he's talking about, you know, no fap and all this stuff, whatever. I just want to show you that it's a connection, right? Just want to show you a connection to who he's connected with. Okay, now let me get, because we getting kind of deep into the show. I know it's getting kind of late. Let me see if I can show y'all something. Because I think I put a lot of content out here, and I think y'all kind of know what it is. You got a lot of people who, and I got to show this. Let me put this up.
In Phoenix.
Okay, so what we're looking at is what Nubreed does is he puts out a lot of misinformation to have, especially like I said, what he's done recently is with the Haitians. Let me get that video pulled back up. What he's done is with this particular video. All right, hopefully y'all can see this. What he's done with this particular video is he's trying to make it seem like Trump tries to deport 500,000 Haitians. And he says that ICE gets chased out. So he wants you to believe that ICE, literally, and the police cannot withstand the lies of I'm telling you, it's nothing but lies. Listen, Ringo TV Reactions broke down that video. If y'all want to see the truth of that video, all you got to do is go here, go to Ringo TV Reactions, and watch this video that's right here with Nubreed's face on it. Now y'all know who Nubreed is. This guy right here, Barclays Center raid and ICE agent attack. Nubreed's disinfo debunked. All y'all got to do is watch that video. Okay? But Nubreed is up here making Haitians believe that they can sit up there and get buck on ICE. Like they could check ICE because of what they did in their country. And then what he's going to end up having is he's going to have other immigrants that are here believing that they could get buck with ICE. And let me show you what happens if you get buck with ICE. Watch the video right here. Watch this.
In Phoenix, protests and public demonstrations have grown louder. Criminal defense attorney Russ Richelsoff warns that disagreeing with immigration policy is one thing, but interfering with federal agents can quickly escalate into a criminal matter.
Now, when you walk out your front door, you're taking a risk. When you walk out your front door and go to an area where federal law enforcement agents are arresting people, you're taking an even bigger risk.
We've seen protests outside Phoenix Immigration Court and today in a Peoria neighborhood. But this criminal complaint highlights a case of two men accused of assaulting federal agents.
The first thing I noticed reading through it was that there was no actual contact with the agents.
Do you hear that? There's no actual contact with the agents, but yet it's still considered assault. See, a lot of people don't understand how the laws are. They're just like, well, I didn't hit the ICE agents. I didn't do this. You can still assault somebody without physically touching them.
In the documents, FBI agents working with ICE claim they stopped Abraham Villa Jr. and his girlfriend for her immigration status. She was allowed to hug and say goodbye to Villa, according to the complaint. But after leaving the scene, Villa, the detainee's boyfriend, and her brother followed agents in their cars.
In this federal complaint, they're alleging that the vehicles were used as deadly weapons, dangerous instruments.
Do you see that? The vehicles were used as deadly weapons. And this is what a lot of people do. They be like, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. You just don't know the law.
One agent claims he, quote, feared his vehicle was going to be run off the road. The other alleges one of the suspects posed a threat after blocking her car with his and revving the engine.
Now, how many threats have Nubreed Global Truth made to different groups of people? How many threats have he actually issued? He issued decrees talking about, yeah, we gonna fight and this need to be done and that gonna be done. And everybody thinks that that's okay. Just like people think it's okay to do that with the ICE agents. You can't do that. This stuff is illegal, it's wrong. But yet people use their positions of power, they use their connections with potential alleged war criminals and some actually proven backgrounds of those who instill and instigate war and they justify their reasons for doing it. Listen, Charles Taylor justified his reasons for doing war crimes that he was charged for and arrested for. You don't think Charles Taylor, the former president of Liberia, didn't justify his war crimes? He justified it. Just like all these people that are associated with Nubreed, that Nubreed Association, and all of this that he's doing, he's going to justify his response. And y'all, we only in part 1 of this. Wait till I get to part 2 and part 3 and so on. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet with the breakdown with Nubreed and how he's associated. This is just part 1 with the whole psychological power.
The charge is assault. Assault doesn't require an actual touching. In this circumstance, under the laws of the United States, assault can also be intimidation.
Did you hear that? Assault can be intimidation. So let me get this straight. If somebody actually intimidates you under the laws of the United States, that can be considered assault. Or if somebody feels intimidated, that's considered assault. So technically speaking, Nubreed has assaulted by definition of the laws of the United States. Right? This is coming from an attorney. Based upon an attorney here in the United States, Nubreed has threatened other individuals. He's done things behind the scenes. He's caused women to get fired from their jobs and get gang stalked and all of this stuff. Come on now. What's up, Tanya S.O.? You're just now, I'm pretty sure you're just now joining us, Tanya S.O. Have you read the title of the show? And are you just now joining us? Because if so, you missed over 3 hours of information on why I'm bringing this up and why I've done this live stream. Have you just now joined us, Tanya S.O.? Because if so, you need to go back from the beginning and watch the beginning of the stream. Because if you're just now joining and this is what people may do, then you're not going to understand what's going on. You're not going to understand why I'm even doing this live stream. Right? This live stream has nothing to do with me personally. I hope you understand that. This live stream has nothing to do with me personally. This has everything to do with the damage that Nubreed is doing to a large group of people. So this is your first comment I'm seeing, Tanya. I don't know if you just joining, but listen, if y'all just joining, man, listen, don't say any comments like that unless you understand the beginning and you were able to see the beginning, okay? It would help you understand the context of this live stream. All right? And that's all I want y'all to do. Y'all got to understand what's going on. It's just like watching a movie late. For example, if somebody didn't see a movie before and they just came in the tail end and they start commenting and reacting to the movie, you miss pertinent details and pertinent things that happen on why certain things are taking place in the movie. It might not make sense, and unless you see that. So this has to go back again. This live stream, it has nothing to do with me personally. This has everything to do for anybody watching, right? This has everything to do with the harm and the danger that Nubreed presents to all these groups of individuals. And right now, in this particular case, we're talking about Africans and Liberians. This is crazy. Okay, I just saw the comment. You said you just joined. Catch the title. It's all good. It's all good. That's why I asked the question, Sister Tanya. I was pretty sure you didn't see it. You couldn't have seen it to even say that. Anybody that's been here understands what I'm talking about. Again, I want to run this back a little bit so y'all can understand what assault. It does not mean you got to put hands on somebody.
Going to be run off the road. The other alleges one of the suspects posed a threat after blocking her car with his and revving the engine.
The charge is assault. Assault doesn't require an actual touching. In this circumstance, under the laws of the United States, assault can also be intimidation. So some type of act that causes the other person to be intimidated.
Do y'all hear that? This is under the laws of the United States. So if somebody does an act to make someone else feel intimidated, technically that is a form of assault. That's right. So we want to ask the question, what acts have Nubreed actually done to make other people, I've had witnesses, feel intimidated? Quite frankly, what acts has he done as it relates to me personally to make me feel intimidated? I mean, I ain't scared of the man. If I was scared of him, I wouldn't be talking about him now, or I would have made videos before. But I'm just saying, under the definition of United States law, technically the acts that he's done with making threats, things he's threatened towards other content creators, people that have spoken out against him, that is a form of intimidation. And that's what people, this is the play out of the book that Nubreed does, the psychological power. He'll try to clothe it and it's the right thing to do, just like Charles Taylor did. Or just like the things that Pastor Dow has done to other individuals, like Pastor Rufus, and the list goes on. They always clothe it like, hey, this is the righteous thing. This is the right thing to do. The Bible says this. The Bible says that. They always present it like it's the right thing to do. But it's a form of intimidation by the laws of the United States, and you don't even have to put hands on people. So what I'm trying to say is that a lot of the content that Nubreed puts out, especially as it relates to the Haitians, he's spreading misinformation and he's putting Haitians' lives at risk. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, let's go.
Qualifies under the assault code of the United States.
As protests are expected to continue across the valley, he is sharing a warning.
If you start interfering with them, you're opening yourself up for, at best, criminal liability, and at worst, getting hurt or even killed.
Did you hear what he just said? So if you interfere with ICE, you're opening yourself up to potential harm. And this is what Nubreed Global Truth is trying to put out. Like, yeah, man, we clap back. Look, let me show you the video that he did. Let me make sure that the, I'm gonna do this real quick. I want to make sure that the audio plays fine. Let me actually play the video.
Get the likes up.
Okay, so we're playing his actual video so that y'all can understand a clip that he's shown from his video. Let me find one clip. Okay, watch this. He's got this video here. It's a typo. It says Hararians, but it's supposed to be Haitians run ICE officials out of Brooklyn. He's trying to make it look like they ran the cops out. Watch this.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
And see, then he's adding like a video of Trump talking about Trump's wild claims on Haitians resurfaces. Trump never claimed that Haitians were eating dogs and cats. This had nothing to do with the people of Haiti. But he's playing this video that's showing all of this and standing behind it like, oh, this is what's going on. And when you look at this video, all they were doing was dancing and partying. They were not protesting. Watch. Do you see the flags? Look at the flags up there. This was Flag Day. You don't see this cop pulling a gun out, doing anything. They just out there monitoring the crowd. That's what they do. Look at them. They're smiling, having fun. They ain't running no cops out. How come they not pushing this police officer right here out? Look, they should be pushing her around. How come ain't nobody got their hands on her, pushing her around, telling her to get somewhere? Watch this. They're partying. Do y'all hear the music in the background? Do you see the cups in there? But Nubreed is putting this out as misinformation, like, oh, they're running the cops out. They're running them out. Over 500,000 Haitians kicked them out. Look, here's another scene. Let me switch scenes. He's trying to make it seem like that's what's going on. Then he'll show, see what he does is then he'll show a couple of news clips to make it look like it's legit. He'll show a couple of news clips to make it look like it's legit, right? That's what y'all see. Watch this. This woman don't know what she's talking about.
They always updating stuff. Okay, I see.
They ain't updating nothing. He don't know how to use his equipment.
Yep.
Me here said this morning a bag of Haitians go melt some ice up in New York. How a bag of Haitians literally when ice come drop them and dip them say, oh, we are also bam bam boom baff coof. In a Jesus and peace,
and definitely don't mess with the Haitians.
Okay, so the late
he's playing a lot of TikTok videos that are full of misinformation to make you think that they ran ICE out of New York. There is no news, there is no reports, there's no proof that ICE ran anybody out of New York, but definitely not Haitians, because they didn't even get involved with Haitians. And Haitians did not run them out. But what he's doing is he's trying to trigger Haitians into believing that, yeah, man, we ran ICE out. We got rid of them. They ain't nothing. We kicked them out. And so then you thinking that because, see, look, like, watch this. He's showing these videos like they actually did something. Look at this. Talking about that's Brooklyn Haitians versus ICE. No, that is the Flag Festival that took place back in May. That's not ICE. Listen, do those look like cop cars to y'all? Let me see if I can make this bigger. Does that look like cop cars to y'all? Does that look like cop cars in the middle, or do they look like regular vehicles? It was just parked there. Watch this.
This is what everybody needs to do. Put your foot down.
Look, they not even focused on the cars. You can hear the music in the background. Listen to the music in the background. They just playing. This is a party. It's Flag Day. And none of those cars they're showing are police cars. Those are regular cars. And even if there is a cop car, it might just be one cop car parked. If there is one, they're not running out police.
I'm so freaking proud of the Haitian community. This is how you do it.
And see, she's causing more misinformation, and Nubreed's pushing this into making you think that he's for Haitians. He calls Haitians tethers. Nubreed says you a tether if you're not a foundational Black American, especially if you speak out against him and his agenda. The guy don't care as long as he get views and clicks, just like he used Trump to get views and clicks. And Nubreed is associated. Yeah, Corey Bennett is right. He says those look like regular cars. Those are regular cars, but Nubreed is trying to make it seem like through these other videos, like, oh, yeah, ICE got pushed out. ICE ain't get pushed out. And then he using a bunch of other videos, even if they are Haitians. And then he tried to show like these videos here. Talking about breaking news. Did you see the video of Haitians fighting ICE in New York? Watch this. Let me show you something. Let me try to get this on the screen. All right, what we're looking at right now is a Google search. Okay, I just flat out did a Google search. Okay, Look at what information, because if Haitians were fighting ICE agents in New York, for example, where is the official articles? Look at this. You just got some YouTube video that's doing the same thing. People react to Haitians fighting ICE. Latinos ask. And then here you got ICE agents blasted by families officials for arresting other people. Like look at this. This got nothing to do with ICE arresting a bunch of Haitians. Here it says this is somebody that returns to Ecuador. You got a Latino community. Look at the name. I don't understand these laws that led to the detainment of my daughter, said Haseline's father, Marco Chipinpantiza. That's not no Haitian name. That's the Latino community. But you got Nubreed pushing this around like, oh, there's a bunch of articles and a bunch of information and they fought back. That's fake. And then you got AI out here. See, you got Facebook. Connie Taylor Jr. is putting this out here like it's legit. This is a Facebook post. None of this is any proof that they actually have done this. Listen, Gotham Art News says disinformation spreads about Haitians fighting ICE. Look at this. This was an article that says July 13th. Nothing but just disinformation. None of this is, listen, Nubreed pushes disinformation. And that's what I'm trying to show y'all and prove to y'all. This guy is wicked. This guy can't be trusted. And you even got him, like I said, seen here with a woman and a particular regime that's no longer a part of the regime in Liberia. And still to this day, with everything that he's doing, you don't see him providing the dual passport, dual citizenship to Liberians or people here in America that's black or anybody for that matter with Liberia. He ain't doing that. He ain't talking about that. He ain't talking about you people. The guy's a fraud. He's a false prophet. And all he does is use Trump's name to try to go viral with his videos. That's all he's doing, using Trump. When he talk about Trump, he's not talking about nothing biblical. But yeah, he claims he's a Hebrew Israelite. He's all in the biblical truth, talking about shalom and all this stuff. The guy is a fraud. He's using religion. He's using all these things to deceive y'all. And that's what a lot of people in the positions of power did. That's what Pastor Dow has done. A lot of these people out here. That's the same thing that you'll hear that Charles Taylor did. A lot of them, they use religion to deceive y'all. To worm their way and squirm their way into positions of power. I'm telling you, this has been part one of, this has only been part one. Wait till we get to part two of telling you about Trump and content creator Nubreed Global Lies, the psychology of power. This has only been part one. Expect the people that rock with him, expect the content creators that support Nubreed, that they also have been caught in lies. They also can't produce valid receipts. The ones that are also demons that are wicked, expect them to start going live now talking about me. Expect them to start making content talking about me. So if anybody's coming to this live stream talking about why you talk about Nubreed, you need to ask them, why are they talking about me? Especially when I even mention their name. It's one thing for Nubreed to make content, but why are other content creators that rock with Nubreed making content about me? Because that's what Nubreed does. He weaponizes other individuals to make it look like they're the ones doing it and make it look like his hands are innocent. The same way that Charles Taylor did it. The same way that Pastor Dow do it. The same way that a lot of those folks do it. They'll get other people to do their dirty work so it look like they innocent. That's the same way that Nubreed moves. So, hey, we're going to get to it in part two. I appreciate everybody watching. I know this has been a long one. I know it's been tough. There's been a lot of information shared in here. Please share this particular live stream. Get the word out that Nubreed Global Lies needs to be held accountable. And like I said, all him and the content creators that rock with him are going to do is go on a smear campaign. It's like, oh, we haven't talked about brainwaves in a while. Let's go talk about brainwaves. And like I said, they're going to like brainwaves is gay, brainwaves is hate. How the hell I'm hating when I've got more views than Nubreed's got? That's what they're going to say. Well, brainwaves is hating. They can't say I'm hating. I get just as many views as he does, if not more. And my channel's only a fraction of his size. I got just now 35,000 subscribers. He's got 204. Why is a channel with 35,000 subscribers getting just as many views as he get? You see what I'm saying? So this ain't got nothing to do with no jealousy. Matter of fact, one of my videos that I put out on Trump, I got more views than he's gotten. And I could do more videos and get more views than he getting. So this ain't got nothing to do with being jealous. Right? But that's the lies that they'll try to say. Just look at the views, look at the numbers, look at the receipts, the information's out there. So, hey, I appreciate y'all. What's up, Jeff? I don't know what you said, 2020. I'm not sure what you're referring to by 2020, Jeff, but, oh, Jeff says, hold on, he said another comment. Oh, he's correcting a typo. He says, Jeff says, you're all effed. We warned you in 2020, but you called us conspiracy theorists. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Jeff saying. Look, we tried to warn y'all, but y'all say we're conspiracy theorists. We're crazy. That's how the haters do. That's how the demons do. They're like, well, they're conspiracy theorists. Brainwaves, people like Jeff, anybody that actually tells the truth on situations, they're conspiracy theorists. They're crazy. That's all they could do. They have no receipts. They have no validity behind what they say. Yeah, Waco, no, my content is real. It's authentic. Appreciate you, Jeff, coming through, rocking with us. Feel free to come back and rock with us some more, Jeff. People need to hear your comments. We appreciate y'all. So listen, y'all. All I want to say is to those of you that get it, to those of you that understand that you're not a demon, you're not a troll, you're not a narcissist, right? I speak life over y'all. Okay, let's choose faith over fear. Let's continue to choose abundance. Yeah, Jeff gets it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up. He says race and division is their biggest weapon. Exactly. And that's what I want to show you that Nubreed Global Lies is doing. He's trying to cause us to get in our emotions about, oh, ISIS doing this about this particular race and they're coming after this ethnicity, and to get us think, well, I'm a Christian. So if you say you're a Christian, then he wants people to think that you suck and nothing's good. And you don't know how to walk and you don't believe in God, right? And you ain't doing it right because you're a Christian just because he says he a Hebrew Israelite. And to start Christians getting mad at Hebrew Israelites to start this division. That's what Nubreed does, and all the people that he has been proven to associate with in any type of position of authority and power. He's a warmonger. He's dangerous. Nubreed is a criminal. He literally has, if you do a background check on him, he's literally a convicted felon. The man can't vote. So why is he even talking? And I'm not talking about recently. He got a long, it's not like one crime. He has a long track record of being a convicted felon. Dangerous crimes, violent crimes, stealing, all types of stuff. I don't have that in my background. Y'all can background check me all day. I come up squeaky clean. That's why I work in public safety. I got a squeaky clean background. But what he'll do is he'll try to make you think he can vote, and now he's all political. He done put down the Hebrew Israelite thing, but every now and then he got to make a video because, he got to maintain that crowd. Every now and then he try to touch in, but he not about that life. Those videos, it don't give him views. That crowd don't give him the views. Yeah, Jeff is right. He's on the list. Listen, the powers that be know about Nubreed. That's why he's associated with all of these wicked people. People that's associated with wicked people, even if they ain't been quote unquote charged with doing stuff themselves. Come on now. So, hey, I appreciate everybody. We said what we needed to say. We're going to get to it on part 2. I got other content I got to talk about too, but we're going to get to it in part 2. Part 1 is out. Listen, Nubreed has been found to bash Haitians. He done turned his back on the Liberians. He can't say, oh, yeah, I'm still in this, because we got him talking about what he said he going to do in Africa here in 2025, but he ain't talking about that. He ain't promoting that. He don't make no videos about that. He talking about he got land initiatives. He don't talk about that no more. He don't push that because it ain't no money no more. Why? Because we've exposed the crimes that he's done. So he can't make money in that audience. So now he's trying to get the MAGA crew. He's trying to get everybody that's a MAGA, everybody that like Trump, support Trump, voted for Trump. That's all he do. Now he trying to tap into the MAGA crew and then brainwash the MAGA crew into thinking that he's something that he's not so he can get money off of y'all. Don't fall for this, man. Appreciate you, Michael. So, hey, I'm about to get out. This is a win. This is definitely a win. This is definitely a win. What's up, August Queen? So, hey, I'm about to get out of here. You know, it is what it is. I appreciate all of the support. Appreciate the videos. Appreciate the videos. In terms of y'all being support. Shout out to Ringo TV Reactions. He shares some content. He's an excellent content creator. He did an excellent breakdown on how Nubreed did a disservice and how he's harming and potentially harming Haitians. Anybody in the Haitian community. Go to Ringo TV Reactions and you'll see his video. He just did a live. At this point, man, like nobody need to be supporting this guy. This guy refuses to come clean. He refuses to take ownership. And all he's going to try to do is to try to take me out, take Ringo out, take the voices that are holding him accountable out. That's what war criminals do. That's all he's tried to do. Thinking he's going to silence my voice. You cannot silence the voice of God. I speak on behalf of the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I don't speak on the behalf of any man. I speak on behalf of God. You cannot silence God's voice. And that's why I boldly put out these videos. And I boldly speak. Because I don't have the spirit of fear. The Most High protects me. The same God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he protects me. If God be for me, who can be against me? So, hey, stay tuned for part 2. I bid blessings and peace over y'all. Y'all go out and get it. Y'all live in faith. Don't live in fear. Don't listen to content creators like Nubreed Global Lies who will get you to go challenge ICE and then get you caught up legally. And if you're of another ethnicity, all of a sudden put your ethnicity on a radar just so he can be like, see, I told you that ethnicity, that the ICE was targeting them. What's up, sweet lullabies? Y'all live your life in faith. Y'all do right. Y'all go out and get it. Y'all be encouraged. I speak life over y'all. I speak blessings over y'all. Y'all be edified. Y'all focus on your relationships. You focus on building. Y'all have fun. Y'all have experiences. Y'all enjoy life wherever you are around the world. Will do, Michael. Will do. Oh, I look after myself. I got people. Listen, I'm highly connected as well. Let me make this known. I'm connected around the world. And I have a lot of powerful individuals that look after me as well. Let me just put this out there. I got a lot of powerful people all over. Who are these people? They're the people that the Most High has chosen. That the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob has chosen to put in a position to allow me to continue to do what I do. And I don't have the spirit of fear. Like I said, it's faith over fear. I have the spirit of faith. The Most High has protected me before. He will continue to protect me. And he will protect you all. Let me just say this. God is not a respecter of persons. So he will protect all of you watching wherever you are around the world. So let's continue to do the best we can to being right, to living just, to have these wonderful experiences in life. Let's talk to ladies, if you're interested in a guy, I'm talking about, rightfully, justly, go ahead, talk to him. Have that relationship, have those experiences. Same thing, fellas. Move forward with the woman. Go get that job. Go get that car. Get that house. Go take that vacation. Go take the trips. Go have experiences in life. Let's get it. We don't live in fear. We're going to move righteously. We're going to move accordingly. Appreciate you, sweet lullabies. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you to everybody who just subscribed. I appreciate y'all. I really do. Shout out to y'all. So, hey, let me get out of here. I need to go spend some time with my family. Spend some time winding down, having fun. I appreciate y'all. Stay tuned for part 2 and stay tuned for more information. I got other videos I got to talk about. Okay? Man, this has to be done. And for those of you that know, I didn't talk about this content creator for a long time. But because he's causing harm and potential harm to so many large groups of people, and he's inciting potential violence and issues by passing on this rhetoric, I gotta speak on it. There's too many people and too many lives at stake, and I actually care about people. He don't care. He just care about you if you give him money, if you click the like button and you subscribe. Yeah, he care about you then, but he don't care about you even if you don't agree with him. He don't care about you. He don't care about what happens to you. You're just a means to an end to him, just like a lot of these warmongers. And like I said, his response is going to be war. His videos of war. We got proof of that. His response when given an opportunity to take peace, he responded with war. He responded with violence. That's what he wants. And he claims that violence and war and conflict and beef is the path to peace. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, that's some wicked work. But hey, peace and blessings to y'all. Shout out to everybody that's new. Shout out to the people that even didn't agree with me. Feel free to come to my channel and disagree with my talking points. I don't care if you disagree. Just be respectful, right? Remember that. And if I see somebody trolling somebody in the chat, my moderators are going to get them too. I don't tolerate no disrespect, even for my viewers in the chat. What's up, Marlene? Blessings to you, my dear. Blessings to you, Marlene Finley. So, hey, let me get it. I'm hungry. I've been on this thing for 3.5 hours. I got to work in terms of chilling and getting some food. And we're going to have some more content tomorrow. I'll go live tomorrow in the morning. All right. So expect a live tomorrow. I don't know, maybe around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be going live. I won't talk about Nubreed. We're going to wait and see what him and the trolls going to say. We're going to wait and see what the people that rock with him, ironically, who didn't even used to rock with him, who used to throw him under the bus, and all of a sudden they flip-flop. I tell you, man, this stuff is crazy out here. But hey, let me get out of here. Enjoy your morning. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night. I bid blessings over you. I bid peace over you. Shout out to, I don't care if you white, if you black, if you green, if you blue, if you're an American, if you're not an American, I bid peace and blessings to you because you haven't done anything to me and I'm not doing anything to y'all. And what they want to do is divide us and make us think that we can't move accordingly. And I'm not about that life. And people like Nubreed want to create that type of division. So he's been exposed. So we'll continue this in part 2 and we'll have some other content coming. Peace and blessings to y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm out.